Um, this is weird. I'm live on StreamYard, and I got a bunch of crap. There we go. Comments. Whew. Happy New Year. I didn't know if I was going to be live. Yeah. Well, just sitting around. It's an adult evening, so, you know, it is what it is, right? Yeah. Huh. Seem to be missing something here. Hey, make it my Mandy. Happy New Year to you too. I'm actually just getting myself some dinner and then heading back home. Oh, well, good to see you. Yeah, I just got home myself. I went out and had all this food and entertainment and a bunch of other medical things I had to do. But yeah, well, good to see you. Happy New Year. Getting myself some dinner. I had Chinese food. Oh God, it was good. This new restaurant on Shelburne there. Well, it's an old restaurant, but new owners, and they're all women, and they know how to cook. Oh my gosh, it was delicious. Everything was crispy and crunchy, and it's very good. Well, I hope you have a lovely dinner, Mandy, and a safe trip home. Yeah. I almost got Chinese food for dinner too. Funny, yeah. The one here, it's called Liang's. It was, I had it off and on over the years, but this time it was really good with new owners. Mr. Sealand, Happy New Year. Hey, Free Spirit, good to see you. Good to see you, Free Spirit. Can't give you a wrench. Lewis, but we know you're there. I bumped into you somewhere, Free Spirit. Where was that? Forget. YouTube's big. I had a long day, too. I had a really long day. Good to see you, Lewis. I'm going to go get some fuego because the salmon are swimming. You guys gotta go out. Oh, yeah. Ah. Hey, Caroline, to be free. People saying hello. It's a new year, a whole brand new year. I've got plans. You're really live? Well, I kind of feel dead. I'm going. I'm going skydiving. Hey, tandem in Nanaimo, not far from here. It's not till April though. But I'm going to do a tandem jump. It's already bought and paid for, and then I'm going to do a solo jump. Why not? I just finished up the business about it yesterday. Get it all the paperwork and everything. Going over what I got to do, but it's not till April, the first week of April. But should be exciting. I'll be in Nanaimo in the first week of April. I'll be going there with my best friend and family member. They've all signed up too. We'll be on the same plane, but they're jumping solo. I'm not doing that. I'm jumping with with someone else attached to me. So yeah, it'll be very exciting. You're really live. Yes, I'm really live. You're going live tomorrow at 7 or 7:30 or something. I got a notice. Yeah, the town is Paris, California. I hear the tippy tippy of doggies. Yeah, well, yeah. I have little doggies. Is known for the biggest jump link. Yeah, yeah, for sure. But yeah, I'm just practicing. I Wednesday night, 9:30 Central, so that's 7:30 Pacific, I think. Anyway, it's on my notification. I don't know if I can make it because tomorrow night I have something I have to do, you know, that can't be avoided. But I might be home by then anyway. So yeah, I went out and had Chinese food. It was absolutely delicious. Team replay. I haven't gone back to watch your rest of your video. I couldn't stay long. You guys look like you're having fun, but I have a lot of plans this year, and hopefully I get to do some of them. Well, hello, Vay. Blessed New Year. Yeah, I had to go and get an MRI done today. I did that. That was scary as hell. I didn't like it very much, and I seen the neurologist, and I'll live another day. They're all freaked out. I'm not. Calm, cool, and collective. Yeah, the sound. The sound. Yeah. Camo and Bows. Hey, how's it going? Happy New Year, buddy. Can't give you a wrench because I'm on StreamYard. So, yeah, I was going to put an invite out there if someone wants to come up. But if it's anybody weird and you're not moving around, I'm not letting you up. And here you go, paste. No, it's nothing personal. It's just that I'm on StreamYard. It's nothing I can do about it there, Mr. Camo. And both you're a really great guy. You're more than welcome to come up. And then there's Shawnee's in here. She'll put up your link. Or Bay will. Why you? Yeah. I had a long day. Side to side after all the neurologist, and then I took a chance on this Chinese joint. It was good. Uh, Actually, it's the Wi-Fi. Huh? But the Chinese food was amazing. They brought us this free tea, and then they brought us black bean sauce. Oh, there's Shawnee Gross. Is that Shawnee? Can you wave? Okay, Shawnee Gross waves.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Yeah. My little granddaughter was running around doing that yesterday, and I'm like, it's not till tomorrow.
Right. I'm just gonna kind of hang out. I am technically working on this side, so I won't be able to talk too much, but I thought I'd come up here and join you.
Terrible.
Did you say terrible? What? Hi, Camel and Bows.
Good channel, good guy. Oh, the High Desert Pioneers here. Hey, have a great 2025 to you there. I like that guy. He's a deep thinker. You ever been to his channel?
No. High Desert Pioneer. Okay.
He's a super duper deep thinker. He sees past a lot of stuff, hey?
Oh.
You know, like you and I could watch something and go, oh, look at that. But he has a whole different perspective and why it's done. And it's usually pretty accurate.
Well, it's fascinating.
Yeah. Hey, Sim J's here, all the way from Toronto. Welcome.
Hi, Sim J.
Yeah. her mom's in India and she's in Toronto. Yeah.
That's
So
long distance.
you're working on for tomorrow night your big
No,
show?
I have a.
Oh,
This is my job.
uh-oh.
I process donations, and this time of year, a lot of people donate money, so
Yeah.
I go through and get it ready to go to the bank.
Wow, you're very important. You're the banker. That's what these girls at the hospital today, and they're in the gift shop. They're like in their 90s or whatever, right?
Okay.
And they're dropping the coins so they can count them and hit the cash register, so then they know that's another coin.
Yeah.
And I said, "Which one's the accountant here?" And they all looked at this super ancient lady and goes, "It's her.
Oh.
She keeps track of the money."
Yeah.
They make a brisk business there at good prices of handcrafted goods, wildcrafted goods. So yeah.
Yeah, it's a company that I work for that just processes different nonprofits donations so they don't have to. It's pretty fun.
All those board members have to be paid.
Yeah. I know.
I was a board member one time,
One
and
time?
yeah, just it was a brief thing because I didn't feel like taking the money for doing nothing. I kind of
Uh,
felt cheesy. I'm like,
okay.
geez, I can't do this. I couldn't do it. I'm normal. I work for a living.
Sometimes board members for certain groups, like if it has to do with VA stuff, veteran stuff, they're all volunteers. But most of the time, right, what you're saying is, what are they getting paid to do?
Well, we at the university here of Victoria here on the island where I lived, some of the professors did a study on how much money comes to charity and how much food. So there was $1 billion cash that come for the less fortunate, and there was $1 billion for the food that they don't throw in the dump anymore, that they have to give it away. So they all followed it where it all went and stuff. It wasn't pretty.
Right.
There shouldn't be any poor. There's more than enough given for poor. There shouldn't be any.
Yeah, when you look at the pie chart of donations, when it comes to what this specific topic we're talking about, the
Yeah,
wedge for what actually goes to the people is very small.
yeah.
Um, Unfortunately, because I did research for our local area and I wrote a letter to the newspaper and they published the article on what we're saying right now, is if we just all gave and it went to where it was supposed to, we wouldn't have shortages of things for people that need it.
So when I found that out, what I did is I found the neediest people and gave them money or cooking stoves or tarps or
Directly.
blankets. Yeah.
Hmm.
And I did that for many years with my sister. My sister was a lot wealthier than I, and she would just load up. And we actually visited a cave in Campbell River, and yeah, it was an actual cave. It was a native cave, like paintings on it and stuff. And anyway, she went in there. She knew them all, and she was giving them blankets, and they were all hugging her like she was, a goddess.
Aw,
But to them, they had nothing. And
blankets are good.
well, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Mark's here. Our
Is he
our robot.
is he knocking at the door? Ding
No,
dong.
no, no. He's not
No?
knocking.
Or
I
he's
can
in the
keep that
chat.
door.
Yes, hi. Chef Tech 86.
Yeah, Mark's
And
fun.
they
Robot Mark is fun. Oh, if I can remember to do this, had my brain cooked by that MRI today.
I know. Wow, how scary.
It freaked me out. I had a little bit of a problem.
Hmm.
I got a little bit of high blood pressure out of it. It
Yeah.
went up like super high. So they took me out and monitored it. And they went, okay, just take this Ativan. And I'm like, I don't do drugs. They're like, well, you got to take it. You got to relax. And I'm like, well, I am relaxed. What do you think this is? They're like, look, you got to take it or we're not putting you back in.
Oh.
So I took it. And, oh, my God.
So I got a detox from that, huh?
Oh, I drink lots of water.
Right.
Here comes the robot. He's not showing himself, but
Raccoon.
I'm
Oh,
ready
okay.
to. Okay. All right. Yeah. A purty looking fellow.
Look, my sweatshirt matches your hat.
Oh, it
Ah,
does.
ah.
Except for I don't have a hummingbird on mine.
This
No.
hat costs $35, but guess what? $12 of it goes to an ecological preserve in Indonesia, and so they don't cut the tree down.
Oh, that works.
I thought you were going to say that the hat was 35 years old.
Oh God, no! I have a new
That's
one.
what I thought you were going to say. I'm like,
Oh, that
no.
I have a
would
bunch of these.
It would make an
I
older
have a bunch
cow.
of these, and they're different little hummingbirds and stuff on them. And it's good because you can wash some out and just let them hang dry. Today I washed out my new these shirts here. I got new
Food
shirts.
Forest permaculture shirt.
I know that, but they're nice and new and they feel good.
They're fresh.
So I washed them out to make sure there's no, industrial residues or whatever.
Chemicals. Yeah.
Oh, Tammy's here. She knows my secret now. Why I bailed right after the stream for Gil because I saw
Tammy.
yours pop up. I'm like, I'm out of here. Gotta go. Bye. I pop up your stream.
Right? Like Howie's live. Howie's live.
Who's live?
Gil's pretty good live too.
Oh,
I
we had a
learned
good
a
time.
lot from that man. Yeah, I learned lots from him. I learned lots from everybody, but Captain Steve there, I learned a really lot about, especially about politics. I don't even discuss politics, but he knows the politics of who's doing what. And then one of my first subscribers was the Canadian Prepper, so I like to go over and see him.
Yes.
Nate's pretty cool.
He did a really funny spoof of the Christmas Carol.
I didn't see that.
He had everybody on the team visited him, like Christmas present, Christmas past, Christmas future. It was really cute.
Was that recent?
He's a really good guy. He's a good
Christmas
guy.
week, he posted it. Christmas week.
Oh, okay. I actually stopped watching some of this stuff. I was following him way back in the day, watching
There
this
you go.
camp stuff and all that. And then it went,
Add me if you
I mean,
come up.
he's commercialized and all that. I'm like, okay.
He's got to
I
make
get it.
money. He's got kids to pay for.
If
Oh,
you
I'm not
go
arguing.
through his channel and you watch the non-news content, then it's okay.
Yeah, that's all that pops up now is,
But the news
Well,
content,
yeah.
if it teach your own,
Yeah. Well, he just tries to go with all bounce off of everybody else out there that he knows, and there's a lot worse than Nate out there. A hell of a lot worse.
Oh, I've seen a lot worse. I don't subscribe to any of them. I'm still subscribed to them. I just don't always go there because I'll be like, okay. No,
he was
don't
my
need to hear
very
that.
first. He was my very first subscriber.
That's a good story. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I've been watching as a friend of his up there too. Crap, he built that ginormous self-sustaining greenhouse. Arcopia. I started watching him.
Yeah, that's a solar passive greenhouse. Hey.
Oh yeah, that thing is massive and it's awesome.
Yeah, they grow oranges, citrus.
He's got bananas in there.
Avocados. There's another one over on Salt Spring Island. This old lady taps into thermal, and she grows every tropical plant you could imagine for food.
Cool.
And she tapped into thermal heating, hey? And I couldn't believe it. Banana Joe lives over there, this friend of mine, and he's on YouTube here, Banana Joe. And he went over there and did a big expose on her, and showed all the different food that she makes money from it. Can you believe that? Like a good $1.
Well, if you're growing good tropical food in an area that doesn't get tropical food and you get enough to sell it, people will buy it, especially if it's like organic, indoor.
I don't have a problem selling any of my food here, but I don't sell it. Why not?
Yeah, you give it away. I wish I was closer.
I give it away to people that need it. Like I give a lot to the food banks. I give tens of thousands of pounds of food over the years to the food bank. And I don't mind doing that because I know it's going to help people. But I try to position mine at the University of Victoria where it goes onto that line because there's a bunch of there's like 10 of the mobile food banks. So I like to shoot a bunch to the kids at the University of Victoria because they're paying big money to live there and big money to get classes there, but they got no money. So when they get a couple 300 pounds of plums from Howie, they think that's pretty cool. But I give them like apples, plums mostly, something like large fruit that you can pick and accumulate a lot of, and that doesn't impact anything with other people that I'm giving it to. And then I give to 2 OH homes, and one not far from here. The girls, they're not girls, they're older ladies. I should call them older ladies. Oh, they're all girls to me. So anyway, they really like it. They make all the jams and stuff. And recently I got a jar of cranberry quince chutney. But every now and then, like a couple of weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, I got this brand new hot steaming apple pie. Oh, here's Tammy Rebel. Sorry. How long were you down there for?
Welcome to the
I just
party.
got in just now.
Oh, hi, Tammy. Long time no see.
All we need now is Gil.
Yeah.
Hey, Bill's here. Newfound Drone Productions. Hey, Ark Wildman's here.
Oh, hi, Ark.
And Mr. Jack's here. I just watched a video of Ark Wildman too. It was after his egg video. I can't remember it. I watch a lot of videos, but yeah. Chatters, hey, yeah. Good to see you there, Arky. Yep. But I've been eating high on the hog. I've been eating lion's mane every day, and I've been eating prime rib and ribeye every day, and I've been eating spotted prawns from my son-in-law. He's a commercial fisherman, so I get a ton of this really nice seafood once in a while. When you get it, it's a big pile, right? It's not like just, here's a couple of salmon or something. It's
Here's 25 pounds of shrimp, give or take 10. Here's a sack.
I got more than that. I got about 50.
Oh, jeez.
Spotted prawn. But you know what? They were all frozen in seawater in 2-pound tubs.
Oh, nice.
I know. All I had to do is put them in the deep freezer, and I'm like, oh. So then I just got my tuna albacore loins, but that cost me a couple $100. But each loin cost me an average of $10 to $11, which is about $30 to $40 anywhere else. But if you know the fishermen, that's what you're giving them a few dollars more than what they get.
Oh yeah,
but you got to clean it.
And it's cash, not taxable. Yep.
Yeah, you got to clean it. They're not going to clean it for you. So you have to have some skill. Okay?
That's all good winter food. Having the mushrooms and the meat and the seafood. Yep.
Tomorrow.
Where you get the mushrooms from?
I grew a lion's mane. I got over 2 pounds.
Like naturally, or did you buy like the kit in the bucket, or?
Well, I bought the inoculant in a bag that was in a box. So I had to tear the box top off, cut a slice in the bag. But now, see, I can make my own inoculant now because it's going to grow back 3 times. Oh, cool. It'll be 3 times it grows. Pardon me. You got to mist it 2, 3, 4 times a day. Keep it where there's airflow because it really sucks up contaminants. But just think, when you eat lion's mane, it also sucks up a lot of toxins. That's the whole thing. If something in nature is sucking up toxins, well, that's the thing you want, but you want a clean one. It's like celery. Celery takes up toxins from water, right? But if you got some organic celery, clean, when you eat it takes toxins from you. And a dry sauna really gets rid of. I've been looking at some for well over a month, and I pulled the trigger on one, but then they didn't send the stove with it. And I'm like, well, I don't want that. There's no stove. You got to spend another whatever, like a lot of cash.
No, right.
No. And it kind of discouraged me, and I just went, you're a bunch of, they show you the picture. It's there,
Not included.
No, I wasn't accepting that.
So just buy a stove and put it in your cave and make a cave sauna.
Oh, the cave. Oh, God.
And then put some salt block around. You can have a salt cave sauna. There you go.
My chief scout has been there several times, and he gets bored over there, stays too long, and he ate a big chunk of my freaking stashed food. Hey, I know, and his girlfriend wasted the water on putting the freaking fire out. Like water's a premium there. There is no water, but I found a water well and I put up a video on it. And someone dug a water well there because we were always told in school there's no water in the island and you don't go there and all this stuff, right? Okay. Well, I've been finding old dwellings there and well over 150 different fruit trees. I found a 2-acre patch of rice that grows wild.
Wow.
I thought, okay. So we found this place, my family and I. We found this place where there was winter greens and berries and salal berries, and it had a southern exposure. So we put a camp there. Let's just say that. And so that was interesting. I was going to bring a hot tent, but my God, those things are heavy.
Correct.
You
Yeah.
gotta drag that thing around, man. And then there's a wood stove you drag around with it. And I'm like, holy moly. And they're not cheap either. They're like $3,000-$4,000. They're not
Howie, you can make a hot tent. The welder's blankets are fairly cheap. We can get them like at our Harbor Freight. And you cut a hole out of your tent and you put that in place of the wall of your tent. And then you can cut the hole for your chimney and go right through. And that's fireproof. So then it's rated for the fire for the chimney. So you can make one really cheap that way. You can get one of those, like a little square of it for under $25-$30.
That's great. The great thing I like about it, if you ever have to leave your house, you can go and put that hot tent up anywhere and live even in the wintertime there and be quite safe in the environmental conditions.
Yeah.
And that's the big thing is exposure, like especially in where it's cold. Where it's cold, that's where hypothermia sets in pretty fast. So you better have a hot tent to go to. So making a cheap hot tent like that's a good bit of intel, Tammy. Yeah.
Yeah. You can get those welder's blankets really cheap. I mean, not super cheap, but a lot cheaper than a $3,000 hot tent.
A bit of work sewing all that though.
Actually, you can glue it. There was a glue they recommended.
Really?
Yeah. So you can even do it no sew.
Yeah, I love a hot tent. I love a cave too. A cob oven attached to a cave at the entrance. That's how they're surviving. Women in the war zone, their men died. And they got the kids or someone else's kids they're looking after. They all go and either live in a tent or they dig a cave. Them women, and some of them are up in the 90 years of age. Yeah. And you can go and find that all on YouTube. It's amazing. Within a day, they've got a cave going. Within a week, they've got a pond and a creek inside the thing. It's opulent if you can put in a little work, and not much work either. Yeah.
Now, if I were going to live in a cave, I'd want to live in a cave in Bermuda because Bermuda does not have any bats. So, but
they got snakes. There's snakes there.
Hey, put it this way: if there's a meteor going to hit the planet, are you going to worry if there's a bat in your cave? I don't think so.
I'm just telling you that the floors of those caves are so pretty and so pristine.
Yeah,
just beautiful sand because there's no bat guano.
Every cave is different. Okay.
Yep.
I've never seen two the same, but
nope.
The lady that comes on here, Mandy, she was here earlier, and she's been to the Horn Lake caves. I've been to several different caves across the province, but and some are vast, hey. But when you get in there, it's actually super clean. It's not dirty at all. The places I find that's dirty are all the old mines here. They're filthy.
Oh, yeah.
But the caves seem to be clean. It was clean the last one at Horn Lake. You could eat off the floor. And it was vast too. I mean, you had to go through a lot of caverns. But the idea is that with a cave, I mean, it was man's first home. Okay, don't get me wrong. But I don't want to live in one, but the best protection is there. If you got a
Yeah.
bunch of kids and you got to get in and protect them from zombies or aliens, whatever the hell it is, you want a cave.
Yeah.
No human civilization has ever endured. All have become extinct. And you know why? Environmental conditions. They didn't have a
Yeah.
cave.
Yeah.
They didn't have a cave. Those that had a cave survived. Like, look at the Neanderthal. They survived
Yeah.
a long time and then integrated into humans. I mean,
Yeah.
you know,
The cave. Have you ever seen the drawings from the caves in France?
oh yeah, we have
Oh,
them here.
they're so beautiful. The petroglyphs. Oh my
Yeah, we have
gosh.
them here. We have lots of them here. I go and I look at them, and there's some even underwater. It's really cool. The lake has come up, and then you can see all the what they've carved on the basalt. They carved
Oh,
it on there,
yeah.
and you can see it quite well. And when the water is clear, you look at it, and it's amazing artwork. And then some of it is on this mountain not far from us here. And I go and I've looked at that often. It's got a big, huge flying saucer on it and a spaceman. I'm like, wow, this is cool, dude. This is really cool. It's like 350 years old. It was pre white man contact. So, what influenced him to put a flying disc and a guy with a suit like with a bubble on him. That's it's in Nanaimo. It's called the Petroglyph Park on Island Highway.
Well, in Egypt, they have pictures of men wearing suits and going underwater, like scuba diving, and they would put on the bladders from animals and use them as an
Yeah,
air bubble, and they
yeah,
would scuba dive with them.
yeah.
And you look at that and you're like, what? How would they think to do that back then?
Well, they didn't. They weren't. Yeah, the way I got it is that there's been civilizations with advanced technologies that have died out, just like no
Yeah.
civilization has endured. That there just was one of them. Pole
I think we've
shift
been recycled at least 2 or 3 times, if not more.
Possibly.
Pole shift is the biggest thing that takes out a lot of life on the planet where you go back to Stone Age. Everything else is like a meteor or something. But it's the pole shift that happens. And that Chauncey Thomas there, Chan Thomas is his nickname, but his name is Chauncey Thomas. Him and Albert Einstein came up with over 20 years ago that it was supposed to pole shift, and it hasn't. They've been incorrect with their math, but hey, that's nothing new for Albert Einstein.
Yeah,
well, there is a theory that Albert Einstein's wife, who happened to be his first cousin, was the actual genius, because after they divorced, there was nothing else. He never came up with anything new.
Yeah. Well, it was Oppenheimer that built the bomb anyway.
Yeah.
Einstein was just along. He knew a bit more about physics than Oppenheimer, but Oppenheimer knew the mechanicals of it. But Buckminster Fuller was there too, and look what that guy brought us: geodesic housing that just molds and rots. So the mortgage and housing will give you a loan for the rest of your life on it. That's what that guy brought us. Yeah. Trippy, hey? I would have rathered a yurt from Mongolia or something. They last.
Those things are pretty. Speaking of, of dwellings that you can do a hot furnace. Those things you can stay really, really warm in.
Yeah.
With very little materials.
Yeah. I'm dedicated to a hot tent or a cave or also a tree house. That's what I'm dedicated for once I leave here. I don't know if I'll ever leave here. I might just come back. It might get a little rough out there.
I don't know. You did well on your challenge when you did that challenge this year.
You can live outside here on Southern Vancouver Island. I mean, First Nations did for tens of thousands of years. They lived outside here. It doesn't freeze. Well, it might get a little frost. We haven't had snow, anything like that. And we had one like kind of frost and then a kind of a couple of little skimmy frosts, and that was it. It didn't affect my greens at all. My greens patch is just fat. It's just super fat.
I don't
Yeah.
think I've ever heard anyone refer to their greens patch as being fat. That is hilarious. Oh,
That,
I'm gonna
like,
keep working on the keying, so I'm gonna get off of this so I can not mess this up, okay?
Well,
It
you'll
was
be
good seeing
missed.
you. Happy New Year.
Happy
Happy
Good to
New
see you,
Year.
Shawnee.
Good to see you too, Tammy and Mark. See you later.
Bye.
Bye. Where's the button? There it is.
I did a microgreen container, started it for Gil's challenge. So I started it today because it's supposed to be 10 days. It's a basic salad mix
Yeah.
and hydroponics. So we'll see. And I'm terrible about watering things. So we'll see if this works for me. I'm such
Yeah,
a
I have
lazy gardener.
I have a problem in my house because I have central air, and which there's a good and a bad to it. The bad is everything needs to be watered like twice a day because it just dries out. The
Yep.
good is when I freeze dry food, the humidity is only like 30%. So I can take my time packing freeze dried food in the wintertime because there's not much moisture in the air for it to absorb and ruin my batch. So love freeze drying in the wintertime and canning because the steam helps the house a little bit. And but growing stuff, and I'm using one of my daughter's bedrooms upstairs with a lot of grow lights in that. And if I forget about something for like 2 days, everything wilts. It's brutal.
That's what happened to me here. I went to my daughter's to dog sit for a week, and all of my plants didn't get watered, and they just died. They wilted and died. I thought I came home once and watered them, but it wasn't enough.
I think I told you on one of Gil's feeds, I started way too many starts, and a bunch of pepper plants, my poblanos and serranos, never made it to the garden. They literally lived in the little 1 pint pots, plastic pots, and I watered them and I forgot about them, and they're out in the deck. And I stressed them so bad, they're still alive. I'm coming up on a year. So I put them in larger pots and put them upstairs and put the grow lights on and that. I got 2 peppers coming already.
Nice.
And I mean, they're leggy. One of them is like, thin stem, but it's super stiff and woody. It's got to be 3 feet tall. And it's got 1 pepper on the top, so I got to stake it up because it's starting to drag it over. I don't have any bees inside, so once I get more flowers, I'll have to play with the cotton Q-tips. But whatever. I don't care if I get some flowers on there. I'll
go inseminate them, robot.
That's
inseminate
right.
them.
My 80-year-old mother would go around with a Q-tip, and every one of her tomatoes in the garden she would do with a Q. She didn't wait for the bees.
See, tomatoes are self-pollinating. I learned that from a guy who had a hydroponic greenhouse, big one. And when I first met him, he let me come in, and he had a little box of honeybees in the corner. And I was like, "What's the bees?" He's like, "Oh, they pollinate all my tomatoes." That's all he had. He had tomatoes that were like a year and a half old. The length couldn't go by height; you went by length. Had to be 80, 90 feet long. He laid them over and went round and round and round and trimmed all the suckers off the bottom. And I learned that from him. As soon as you get a set of tomatoes growing, trim all the leaves below it. So all the nutrients go to the tomatoes first, and then you get more stuff. But then he realized because the bees died, and he had a little cold snap that the heater didn't work, but it didn't kill the tomatoes. The bees died, but he was still getting tomatoes, and he did more research. He's like, yeah, tomatoes are self-pollinating because he had a fan going all the time, so didn't have to worry about that. So he didn't bother with the Q-tip thing or bees. He just let them go, and he was getting 30, 40 pounds of tomatoes a day and selling them in a store there. They're all big slicers, and he had cherries and that. And
nice.
It was really cool to look at. But it was a lot of work, though, to just go around constantly laying the stems over and hooking them up so they grew in it was like this bundle of cables going around. It was like a 40-foot long row, 8 feet wide. It would go up one end, across the end, go up one length, across the end, down the other side. And it was just a bundle of stalk and just tomatoes growing everywhere. I was like, and he did the same with peppers. I was like, holy crap. But
it's nice to grow a bit of your own food. It tastes so good.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I don't feel awful about eating it. I gorge.
Yeah. That's what I did with my
Yeah.
tomatoes. I think I got close to 900 pounds of San Marzanos this year.
Wow.
And I had 50 plants, but I just amended my soil last year with like mushroom compost, and I'd throw ash and stuff on it. I didn't get too crazy with it. I just threw stuff on there, and I planted the tomatoes, and all of a sudden they came out of nowhere. I probably gave away 400 pounds of tomatoes to my wife. She brought them to work, and the ladies at the hospital all knew that I didn't use anything on it. They're just taking them out of the bucket. She was bringing 2-gallon buckets a day. And they were just eating them. She's like, "Are you going to wash them?" They're like, "Why? Your husband doesn't do anything to them." She's like, "What about bird poop?" She's like, "If there's bird poop on there, I'll see it and wipe it off and eat it anyway."
Yeah.
I still have, sorry, Howie.
No bad.
I still have 10 gallon, 1 gallon bags of tomatoes in my freezer. I've got to get out and get them canned.
That's the easier way to do it, though. You get the skin off; they're already frozen. When you take them off, they just come right off.
Yeah.
So that I saw a video today. Wild made some kind of soup with them frozen tomatoes. I still have tomatoes that I grew from outside here. Little cherry tomatoes, and they're perfect. They're still sitting like, and they still taste good. And I'm like, it's almost January. Mm-hmm. So I kind of felt special about that. And then I picked a few more of the kiwi today. Mm-hmm. So that's good. I like to get something every day that's local, that's good. And there's a lot of people here that have greenhouses, and they all grow all kinds of different stuff. But some of the price is pretty wild. Like lychee, locally grown lychee, you think, wow, how much could that be, right? How much? Try $19 a pound.
For lychees? Lychees, yeah. Whatever?
Yeah.
Jeez. Well, that's because they're grown in like Asia usually.
Yeah, but they grow them here in the greenhouse. They grow everything here. They grow pineapple in greenhouses here, cucumber, tomatoes, strawberries, any berry, blackberries, peaches, grapes. That all grows in greenhouses here. And the guy that has an array of it, like a polyculture of it that I know, and he has the least amount of black mold or disease because it's not all the same. And he has it where the wind usually comes from the north. So he tunneled it to the north, but then he put like a partial way in. He put a partial wall. So when the wind came in, it had to go this way and then bounce back and then come out into the greenhouse. He was very smart what he did. And the first time I ever went there was many years ago, and I've got it on videotape. And it's June 1st, and I'm eating peaches.
Oh, wow.
Cool.
Yeah, and tasty ones. But the raspberries that grew in there, they looked good. That you'd swear they'd be the best tasting, plumpiest ones you ever ate.
No flavor.
Absolutely nothing.
I've had raspberries.
One... You couldn't tell you were eating a raspberry.
It had to be something he didn't add to the soil because I think they need like acidic or something.
I think it's just sun.
Yeah, well, he can have them. But I've had blueberries, I've had strawberries, but some things require a lot of air current, like a lot, and not just an oscillating fan oscillating the existing air in there, but actual air that comes through. Like strawberries, if you don't have active air flying through, you're going to get a bunch of rotten strawberries. Sure, you might pick some, but the next day they rot at the store. So the guys here, they rigged up squirrel cages with fans on it that goes over constant flow on it. And then they leave ant piles in the hothouse, So the ant pollinates. It's wintertime. There's not many bees, so the ant does the work for them. So they look kind of goofy. They'll look like this at 3, and it looks like a thing growing out of it. And it's just because it's grown inside. It's out of the environment. It doesn't have that even just stay kind of roundish, eggish. but they grow a lot of stuff here. I was quite surprised. I've seen every type of citrus or tropical growing inside here.
I have a dragon fruit. I bought it at the grocery store, and it's a whole bunch of dragon fruit plants. I need to transplant them. It's a whole pot just covered with,
Yeah.
and then they're about 3 inches tall. And so I'm very excited because I had some and I started them. But I left them at my daughter's. So these are way bigger than that. So I'm going to transplant them into some different pots, and hopefully, since they're a cactus, they'll survive my
Yeah, they are a
careful
cactus.
watering.
They are a
Yeah.
cactus. Hey, Enjoy Beings here from New Zealand. I haven't seen him for a long time. And Peace Journey and Oops. And Shawnee's still here. And Geeky Gardens. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I haven't seen Enjoy Being. That guy's a massive food grower. Wherever he lives in New Zealand, I don't know where he lives there, but he's always growing a lot of food. And he's very good at it. And he's a nice guy, too. He writes kind of like poetry. Very cool. Good to see you, Enjoy Being. Darth X. I might be here, too. Well, you might be. Happy New Year. Enjoy your magic blue edge. I saw Darth X at a different channel earlier. I forget which one, but can't keep track of all the channels you watch. Holy. I watch a lot of them. Here's Enjoy Being. Yeah, I hardly managed to catch you in the right time zone, so good to do so. Yeah, good to see Enjoy Being. If you don't know Enjoy Being, go over and check out his channel. He grows a lot of food, and he goes to some of the coolest places in New Zealand, like the different forests, and it's always like an adventure. Okay, I like adventure.
Ooh, I'll have to go check that out.
Yeah. I've known him for years. I've known him for a long time. Yeah.
I'm going to hop down because the boy wants to play video games loudly next to me.
Can you come back again?
I will come back another time, but it's so good to see you, Howie.
Okay, you as well. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Tammy. Again.
Yep.
Now, you were talking about the tomatoes earlier. I was taking my tomatoes. I have a chamber sealer I bought. Not a vacuum sealer. It's a chamber sealer. I love that thing. Yeah, and so I was putting about 1.5 pounds of tomatoes raw. I would just pop the stems off, wash off the outsides real good, left the skins on, threw them in a chamber sealer until they started to boil with the vacuum, and then I sealed them up, and they changed color. I put a short video on my channel of tomatoes versus chamber sealer, but it's not the greatest video, but whatever. It's one of my first. And I put them in the freezer, and then when I had enough, I pulled them out, processed them before I cooked them. All the seeds and pulp that I didn't get, I ran it through like 2 or 3 times. They all went back into bags. I chamber sealed and put them back in the freezer. So I have about, if I had to guess on the seed count, probably 300,000-400,000 seeds in the freezer right now. And next spring at my property, I got about 3.5 acres of open area, and it's kind of always wet in the lower side. I'm just going to start throwing them everywhere down there. It's probably going to come back to haunt me in a few years, but I just want to see what happens. I don't care. I just want to throw a ton of tomatoes out there. I'll probably have more animals, bees, everything cruising around, but I'm not going to touch them. I'll just let nature do its thing, and I'll go out there every week or so and just pick as many tomatoes as I want, and there'll be a mixed breed because I had like 5 different species of tomatoes growing, so I'm sure I'll have some interesting crossovers.
Enjoy Being says, my garden has turned into a wildlife sanctuary. The deer have turned up and caught me napping. I know very little about their antics, and they keep coming in and eating everything. Awesome.
Yeah, deer do that. They're hungry. Yeah. They got to eat.
Yeah. Yeah, the deer. I love the deer that come here. I'm putting out 30 pounds of apples tomorrow in the food forest. I'm going to sit and watch them at my bird feeder. I just step on a few, and then a bunch of deer will come in a little bit. So it's nice watching them. I'll get a video of it. It's really a lot of fun.
I had a bunch of deer on my property on these trail cams About 4 months ago. I haven't seen one since because I'm surrounded by other people, other farmers and that they all hunt. And I'm sure they evacuated my property and went elsewhere and became dinner. So, but I know there's at least one kicking around as I keep finding little nuggets. And I'm like, all right, so there's at least one, and it'll find another one, and I'll have more deer because I still have I got 15 acres of trees. So they're hiding. They're hiding somewhere.
Yeah, you put ribbon, 6 foot long ribbon, different colors, and where they're coming in, you'll see their trail, and they'll be leery of it. You see, and they something moved. A little wisp of wind will make the ribbon move. Right? They don't like that. They don't like that at all.
I don't mind them on a property. I don't have any food there yet, so I don't mind them coming.
Yeah, no, hey, bring them on.
Bring it on.
I love deer. Deer are my best friends. One time I used to hunt them, but I don't do that no more.
If I had to hunt, I would. I don't feel.
Oh, yeah, me too.
So I don't. And my wife won't let me unless we're like, okay, sorry, we have no choice. Go ahead, honey. I know you can do what you need to do and butcher it and get everything right because, I'm kind of trained on all that stuff. The deer, cow, doesn't matter what it is. They all have same cuts, just different sizes.
Peace journey. Have to go out every week or so to raise it. Fence must be a fence to get matted down. Yeah, I bet. Enjoy Being says, Howie is my inspiration. I had stopped gardening for a number of years, having been brought up with it. But meeting up with this chat invigorated my enthusiasm. I have much respect for this man. You as well. Thank you for the kind words. Much love, mad respect there. Enjoy Being. See you, Mr. Thieland. Always a pleasure. Yep. A lot of good people on the YouTube in the different villages. There's a lot of good people. Always interesting. Yep. You have a lot
all over.
Do you have a live stream there, Mark?
I do not. I did one when I was opening up a bunch of. I'm like, well, let's have a freeze dried dinner at my cabin, and the signal was sketchy because I get like 2 bars on my iPad, so it was kind of sketchy. But I just picked out what I was going to eat, rehydrated everything, and had dinner. I forget what I think I had: steak, mashed potatoes, and asparagus. All freeze dried, all mine. Well, the asparagus wasn't mine, but
I found that a dog, just having a dog, like if you're growing a lot of food, the dog will see a cow come into the garden patch or deer or whatever and just bark. So I don't know. I never really built fences, but here I live in the city, sort of rural area. So anyway, everybody's got a fence here. You didn't even need to put one up. I mean, everybody's fenced in. Some people are taking them down now. It's interesting to see. And they're growing food, not so much near me at a different place, down at a place called Haltane. And the entire, like, and it's a pretty long street that goes in like a block, like a circle block. And geez, you should see all the food being grown there, man. Like tons of food forest, hey? Tons. And they're doing aquaculture right in the street. I'm like, wow. I donated some lemon trees to them and, goji berries, that kind of thing. They didn't like to be videotaped, though. That's all. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, they don't want people to know where they're at. Just leave us alone, and thanks for the food.
Yeah, the one guy that was doing the aquaculture was interesting because he just had a bunch of goldfish in this huge tub. And then he had like lettuce plants on top for skimming off and making soil. And then the carp can be used for like cat food. So Industry Canada, for his science experiment, gave him $200,000.
Nice.
That ain't chump change.
I think that.
Yeah, that's something to see. But he had to have a certain amount of production and show that he could do it and stuff, and he did. And I helped him out build a few food forests. I didn't charge him anything for it. And just to tell all the other younger people and older people too, like, how to plant a tree and, whatever it needs doing, lay the cardboard, get the free mulch. When you start organizing a crew that are like-minded, you can grow a lot of food fairly rapidly and process a lot of food fairly rapidly too.
As long as you're not all growing tomatoes.
No.
Everybody grows something a little different.
Yeah, like you can make your chutney to your relish to pickles, whatever you're making. And the big thing is a jar of tomatoes like that is $20 here, okay?
Jeez.
One jar. $20. A pound of pine mushrooms right now is $60. $60, man. And I walk around, I see them all the time. But not so much now. See, what happens is with mushroom foraging is they start in Mexico and go all the way to Alaska. And then they reverse that, go all the way to Mexico. See? They start with more. Well, it's the climate changes. So every 2 or 3 weeks, they got to move 1,000 miles or whatever it is. Yeah. And they go up and down this continent picking mushrooms and making a good dollar. And the ones that pick the morels and dry them, they have like drying tents. They make they make six figures, eh?
It takes a lot of them to make a pound, but even after you dry them, it takes a little more to make a pound. But still,
they don't sell them here. They don't sell them here.
And it's packed up and sell them overseas.
They go to France and China and Japan and Germany. Rich people get those. You don't get them.
No, I had when I first started clearing a little space out where my cabin went, there was a black walnut that went over. And big. It was about 26 inches diameter at the base. So we cut it up into long logs. I stacked them up. I was hoping I was going to make, boards or something out of it, but that never amounted to anything. So they just sat there stacked off the ground. And last year I had puffballs growing all over them.
Fresh. And those are good eating.
Yeah. I sent a picture to a friend of mine who's a mushroom geek, and he's just like, those are puffballs. I was like, really? You don't need to see one? He's like, oh no, I can tell you right now. Those are puffballs, and they were everywhere, and they've been coming back every year. I'm like, the heck, I just leave the tree there. I moved it around once just to get. I had to move it. I just put it back on the pile again.
Fried in butter on low heat, man. A little.
Yeah, I'm always reluctant because I've never naturally harvested any mushroom. So I'm gonna when they grow in the spring, I'll pick a bunch and bring them out to his restaurant and let him see if he says, "Oh yeah," and cuts one up and we cook it and eat it. Oh, I'll go back the next day and I'll pick them all and bring them back, and I'll slice them up, freeze dry them, make mushroom powder out of them. And yeah, I'll be good. But I'm always leery because I've never, ever, you hear the horror stories and people are like, it can look like this, and books don't really help you. A human that has seen it and knows it and you can trust, that's the best help I can find.
Do you ever hear of a guy named the Hilltop Gardener? It's this kid in the Caribbean, right? Like, I've been following them for a while. And he grew a bit, top of the roof, and grew wherever he could in containers. And then someone gave him the whole hill, this mountain, and said, okay, plant it. Man, that guy is he's just a kid. He's maybe 20 years old, maybe. But I remember him, man, he liked his cabbage, and now he's got rows and rows and rows of cabbage, eh? And he studies hard on how to grow crops to maturity, not just grow a crop and, this one don't look very good. His look bloody good. And he was talking about all the tips today. And he's amazing for his age. And you got to understand too, he's trying to make a living, right? So he's working extra hard. And the rows and rows of food that guy has grown, and because he's in the Caribbean, it just keeps adding. He adds another successive crop, hey, another one. You want to see tomatoes, man? buddy, tomatoes like that, big beefers, eh?
Jeez.
And I couldn't believe it. It's his winter right now, right? So he grew cabbages for a couple of months, right?
It's all in the soil too. I mean, obviously doesn't spray it with pesticides or anything like that?
No, not exactly. He doesn't do that. He does till the land, which I don't, I wouldn't do that. But if someone else does, hey, go for it. Like if that's what you're doing, I appreciate it. Any food growing, I appreciate. But I'm just saying for myself, I wouldn't put no disc to the land. I mean, I'm just not going to do that. That's not ergonomic to me.
No, and I got a tiller attachment for my tractor. I'll probably till up a couple spots so I can do like potatoes and that.
Yeah.
Because the soil hasn't been touched. It was farmed, I think, about 20 years ago. And since then, I've had little pine trees growing everywhere. So I've been pushing those over and stacking them in the back just to open the field back up again. And every time I push one over, I look down. Yep, worms everywhere. I'm like, oh, heck yeah, I'm good. I got worms. So.
Yeah. Darth X is asking, where is Hilltop Garden? It's in the Caribbean. That's all I know. And he grows a lot of food, man. I was very impressed. One time I watched this little girl in Kenya, and she was growing food. But what she was doing was she had a Pepsi bottle, and she put a little hole in it. She filled it up with the fertilizer, a certain amount of Miracle-Gro or whatever, and she just went to each plant and squirted it right onto the roots. Direct fertilizing. And she grew enough that she paid for her schooling and her food for her family. And she might have been 8, 9 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, I was impressed. A Pepsi bottle, man. And she would just put the fertilizer in, and she went to each one, like each tomato, squirt, squirt, squirt. And she had it down to a fine art. And because it's getting watering and fertilizing at the same time. So I really agree with anybody that can grow food any way you can. Yep. I really like that.
Yeah, Jamie just told me if I cut a puffball in half, you can tell if it's edible. I cut one in half.
It's got to be white.
It was pure white.
Yeah.
And solid. I was just like, wow. Okay. I still didn't eat it. I smelled it. It smelled like a mushroom. I mean, like a button mushroom or whatever. And I'm like, okay. I was still, because I'm by myself out there, I'm like, yeah, I'm still reluctant to do it. I'll pick a bunch and bring it to my buddy and let him go, yeah, absolutely. We'll cook them up and throw them on a stove, and we'll just eat mushrooms. I'll be like, okay, now I'll eat the mushroom. Now I'll eat them because I know what they are. I got other ones growing out there too that I've taken pictures of. He's like, couldn't tell you. I'd have to be there. I'm like, great, then come on out. It's only
you got to be careful. Whatever you do with mushrooms, you got to be careful.
That's why I won't do anything unless somebody is with me that knows what they're doing.
Find an old person or older person that's into the natural world, and when it's mushroom season, most of the type of people that are around here, they're all out there looking for their champignon or
chanterelles and wine caps,
lobster mushrooms.
Yeah, I know. I got wine caps out there. I showed him pictures of that. He's like, "They're wine caps."
There's lots of that. Jellies. I put a video up on all the different jelly mushrooms here. I went to a show. That's on my YouTube channel. Just punch in mushrooms, and you'll see a whole about 20 videos on just exotic jelly mushrooms. But Tammy wanted any tips on growing chestnuts from seeds. And the best thing is just to buy a chestnut tree that's already grown, that's 5 or 6 years old. It's your best bet because, we ain't getting any younger, and you got to wait 5 or 6 or 10 years to get your chestnuts. You might be dead by then. So that's if you're growing them from the seed, But if you buy an older tree, and that's what I advocate for people that are past middle age like myself. And that's what I say to do, is just to buy the advanced tree. And I give out a little bit of tips, but some people don't agree with it. But the only reason I give out the tip, like, don't prune your fruit tree. Don't even buy a fruit tree that's pruned and plant it. and see what happens. And I've done that quite a bit, and I've had people do it quite a bit, and it's been extremely successful.
Yeah, they say if you prune your apple tree because you get bigger apples. So if you don't prune it, there's smaller apples, but you get lots of them.
Well, yes and no. Yes and no. Once a tree grows out and branches out and grows really big, your apples will get bigger too. That's it. But if you're controlling it with the lollipop, you can give it disease that you might not even give you any apples.
Yeah.
But if you let it grow wild and let it do its thing like in nature, you know what? I've seen it so many times. And the correct positioning near a water source up on the ground, high ground a little bit, so the lateral roots go over and reach down into the water source, not sitting in the water source. There's a few things too. And it's on my YouTube channel. And I found an old lady. She was like 87 or something like that. And she lived over on the west coast of Vancouver Island. And she was putting in the community gardens. And they were paying her to put in community gardens for the town, right? And she started putting in trees that she didn't allow anybody to prune. And the ones came to fruition were loaded, like absolutely loaded. And the ones that did prune it had nothing. And it was the same stock. Wow. So I said to myself then, I went, okay, there's got to be something to this. And there is something to it. It's not, when you cut off the fruit tree, it has to grow back those hormones for production, like the gibberellins. Once you cut it off, that's it. It's gone. And it takes 2 or 3 years for them to build up the hormones to reproduce again. Now, sure, you might get, like on some hard stock, you might get an apple here, an apple there, an apple there. But just if you don't prune it from the get-go, like they made the clone, it's growing and it never gets pruned, then it'll always keep all those gibberellins in. You see, it'll always be there, right?
That's it. All the books tell you, because I have a white. Well, I hope it's a white peach tree. I bought white peaches locally, and I kept all the seeds. I still have stones. I still have them. I haven't split them yet. I haven't froze them. They're just sitting in a container dry. Well, one of them split by itself and started to grow. So I put that in a little pot, and now I have a little peach tree growing. And I forget. So do peach trees have a tap root, or do they?
Yeah, they have a tap root, but they grow really fast too.
Right. Okay. I got to put it in a bigger pot. It's in a little tiny 1 cup little pot, and it's growing. I'm waiting.
That won't do. Get it out of there before something goes wrong. And what it'll do is it'll start curling. I just got to say hello to Good Eats Homestead. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy New Year. And but what I found was the best thing is like I said, was not to cut the fruit tree right from the beginning, like top it. And what's growing in your locale already, that's what you want to go and get.
Yeah, that's what I got. And the farm is only 18 miles from here. Yeah. And it's actually between here where I'm at currently and where my property is. So it's in the middle. Yeah. So it gets the wind in both directions. And they tell you, all the books say, oh, if you have a peach tree, you have to trim it like a crown and leave the middle open for airflow and bugs and diseases. I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. So I guess I'll just let this sucker go and see what happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I get one peach out of it, I'm happy.
Yeah. Yeah. Here the peaches grow in a place called the Okanagan. And that's peach country like you wouldn't believe. It's thousands of acres of peaches. And it's pretty cool to see. And they grow grapes, peaches, and kiwi, and something else. Something exotic. Oh, well, can't remember. Be right back. Going to grab a handful of dried mushrooms to soak. Hey, Maritza Yarns and Crafts. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Now they're hungry.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm hungry. I'm eating mushrooms. So I know there's a tree farm that sells, and I can't remember the adjective for it, but like old breed apples and peaches and that. But they're all grafted. I mean, they grafted onto a rootstock, and I'm like, okay, what happens if I don't graft it onto a rootstock and just let it grow naturally? Is that a problem? Maybe. No. Okay, I didn't think so.
Any stone fruit can be grafted onto other stone fruit.
Right.
It doesn't matter. Like you can graft an avocado onto a peach because they're under the same genus stone fruit, right?
Huh.
Yeah.
I know one of my uncles grafted a pear, an apple, and something else together. He had a triple tree. It had 3 different fruits on it, and he did that like back in the 50s. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the tree is still alive. It's just massive, and he's still alive, but he doesn't go out and play with it anymore.
Yeah, I'm planting some olive trees that will be here for 1,000 years. I'm doing that this summer. I already have them. I'm growing them under the lights here. I already got them. They're already 2-3 feet tall. They grow really fast.
You bought the tree already growing, or did you start it from an olive?
No, it's already growing.
Yeah, cool.
I have the Star of Crimea and I have the Olea Europea, 2 different kinds. But once it starts growing and gets a good size in about 5 years, because they grow super fast, hey. You'll get olives that you can prepare in a brine and eat them, and there'll be a black olive and a green one. It's 2 different ones. I was gifted them, but I had to go and dig them out. So I did that, and then I'm going to be putting that on the boulevard this year. I'm going big on the boulevards here because they're not doing anything with them. Nobody is. And if you want to do anything with the boulevard, you got to pay the municipality $100, eh?
What, to plant something?
Yeah. Well, they come out, man.
Hope they don't come around and just chop it down for no reason.
I'll get to that part. So what you do is you draw up a plan, what you want to do with the common ground. And then they send out their vegetation guy or lady and approve it. And most of the time they approve it, unless it's something that they'll disapprove of. There'll be a restriction on it, right? But anyway, I have several that I can plant now. Several.
Cool. I don't think I could grow olives out here, like zone 5. I couldn't grow olives here. I don't think I'm in zone 5.
No, you won't grow. Not in zone 5, buddy. You can grow them inside though. Hey, in a solarium.
Yeah, just need a big solarium. I don't have that yet.
Yeah, it would be they're trees. They're big trees. Most of them they lay a tarp on the ground, and then they've got long sticks that they beat the olive tree with because it's pretty tough to kill an olive tree, eh? But they require a lot of heat. They require a lot of heat. You got to remember, olive tree is a stone fruit too, hey? So, there'll be advanced techniques coming up, and you probably can or will be able to grow an olive tree there one day.
I'm sure it will be a different breed of GMO olive, but okay.
Well, the tomatoes that grow like just grow back every year, they're not supposed to do that, eh? No. The reason why they do that is because some geneticist in a lab goes, oh, look at this little flounder lives in the Arctic. He has a cold gene. Let's put it in the tomato gene and take out that winter gene, because you can only put in so much, right? You put something in, you got to take something out, right?
Right.
So anyway, that's why you have cherry tomatoes growing everywhere. They one time 30, 40 years ago, that didn't happen. That just wouldn't happen because of the cold gene wasn't put into it. It wasn't GMO'd yet. And GMO food is not as nutritious as heritage food.
No. I know tomatoes, they drop a tomato, the seeds go into the ground, they grow back next year. You get another tomato plant. And if you had multiple varieties of tomatoes growing, you'll get some cross-pollination naturally.
Sure.
And you'll get like a yellow slicer, because it crossed up with a pear tomato or a pear cherry, which I'm looking forward to see what kind of weird things I get growing when I do my seed spread.
Hey, plant those trees. Rootstock is to make the tree more hard. Yes. Free spirit. Hey, I have a Greek calamata, nice olive tree, but it never fruits as we don't get chill hours here. The leaves are medicinal though, and it needs zero care. Yeah, they're pretty tough. A lot. If your tree, get a different olive. I knew some people that grew an olive tree and it went really big, never gave them an olive. So one day I came home and it was across the street. I even got video of it. They cut it down. They planted it. It grew really rapidly and beautiful. All it did was dropped its leaves every year because they dropped their leaves, say they don't keep it. It's deciduous. I was just like, oh, they just cut it down. Yeah. I ain't cutting mine down, and I'm putting it where doesn't matter what kind of construction happens, like houses being built or torn down. Where I'm strategically putting the olive trees and fig trees, I'm doing both of them, and I'm doing some kiwi. It will be there forever. So it's kind of like a food forest hedge. I learned it off that wild edibles lady there. She was always talking about her food forest hedge where she threw all her apple cores every year. Well, now she got it in cherries and apples, a complete hedge of it. And it just grows and looks after itself. And that's what you want. That's what permaculture is all about. You don't want to be doing work. You want to do the work for itself. Like if you go out there and you prune that apple tree, every year you got a job now. Go prune that apple tree. But if you didn't prune it, every year all you got to do is pick it. What a difference. That's a big difference. And I've had good success with kiwis in fruit trees. I've had excellent success at that, at kiwis growing in fruit trees. And I've had excellent success at grapes growing in fruit trees. But the big thing I found was I had to knock off 90% of the leaves when the grapes started forming. I noticed that you have to do that or you won't get a ripe grape because it's too shaded. And knock off some of the leaves. You learn as you go, right? Yeah. Oh, it's a whole new year, a whole new garden season. I have some exciting plans. I'm going to be putting trees near my where my bugger location is.
You don't have trees there yet, you slacker.
Well, I have garlic growing there, and I have potatoes and sunchokes, and I have plum trees, apple trees, but I'm talking about like figs and olives. Right. I mean, if I'm going to live on some freaking desert island, I want something good to eat.
Well, potatoes, right? You can leave potatoes in the ground. They grow, pick what you want, leave the rest there. They just keep coming back.
I planted some tomatoes there, and people over the summer watered them, and they're big. I was like, oh, cool. I put a video up on it. It was a while back now. But I'm looking at it. Well, the tomato plant looks like it's getting bigger. Next month to come back, it's like twice the size. I'm like, okay, someone's watering this. But there's a lot of islands here. There's no one lives on. There's thousands of islands. It's called the Broughton Archipelago, and it stretches from northern British Columbia coast all the way down to the Vancouver Island. And there's a million coves and inlets here. It's fairly wild. A lot of big outfits like BlackRock built a big hotel out in Ucluelet on the west coast. They're a pretty big outfit, but they're moving in slowly. The bigger outfits, and just what they do is they build the mega hotel. And then they hire a bunch of local gardeners to grow food for their fancy little kitchens. And that's how they're doing it. And the rich and shameless, it's $2,500 a night, a hotel room there. Jeez. So you got to have a lot of cash, right?
And nobody cares that if you just sort of like not move, but go hang out on an island for a long period of time. The government doesn't know about it, or they don't care.
Well, they know it's common ground.
Oh, okay.
Like some islands are owned by people.
Right.
They own them outright, but there's a law in Canada that you can go up to the tide line. You can land on any island that no one can ever say you can't go on that island. There's a law, there's a marine law that you can bring your boat up onto the tide line. Like as far as the ocean goes up, that's as far as you can go and bring your boat or your camp. You can camp there and have a fire.
No, you can't go any further inland on the island?
Depends on what island you're at.
Okay.
If it's a marine park or it's a park, you can just land and go anywhere you want.
Right.
If it's an island that isn't a park and it's what we have here is called miner's claim or settlers. So and there's like 3 places available on Vancouver Island that you can still go and settle at. Hey. So, but if you become a free miner, you got to have a mobile, like the home has to be on skids, like a tiny home. And
Right.
You're allowed up to 1,000 square meters or 1 square kilometer of land of this common ground. It's called government federal ground.
Okay.
And there's no law on it.
You can grow stuff there as long as the house can move.
That's it. You have to show so much improvement. And then after so many years, you can buy it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But
it's like squatters' rights down here. I mean, the way it used to be.
Yeah, you won't get squatters' rights around here. They burn your house. The kids will all be there crying. I seen it. Old ladies, everybody. The Forest Service does it. It's not the police. It's the Forest Service comes in, and they just throw a lantern right into your beautiful home. It's crying shame. Yeah, I've seen that more than once. But the thing is, it's such vast wilderness here. If you were to go out and build a cabin, it'd be years before anybody found you.
Yeah, as long as you don't put out advertisements like, hey, I'm over here.
Okay, for one, there's no road. So how is anybody ever going to see you there? Just in one archipelago on the tip of Vancouver Island, there's over 1,000 islands nobody lives on.
Yeah.
And some are pretty big.
Doc Paul is here. Hey, Doc.
Hey, Dr. Paula Ruffin. Good to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're just having some general chit chat about Happy New Year and whatever else.
Food and growing stuff, which is what Howie does.
But, a vast majority of British Columbia, nobody lives in. And it's uninhabitable unless you're tough as nails. You got to be pretty tough, man, to live in the wilds of British Columbia. People do it though, but they're tough, and it's not an easy life. And but I did it before for 3 years. I lived up on an island in the North Pacific. And what I would do is I lived off the land. I, go get oysters, catch a salmon, a cod. I had some chickens. I had some goats, and deer were plentiful. Like they were very plentiful. And we had an ultralight airport there, and it was fun. Go bomb around the island, little lawnmower engine, and that kind of thing. But there's a lot of islands. People get used to being in a city, and that's what you're used to. But once you get outside of the fences and the crowded areas, like even a rural area can be crowded, right? It's just too much. You don't get enough room to breathe. Even it seems the further you go into Canada, northern Canada, then you obviously it's colder too, but it's a lot more freedom just to just to throw up. You can go camping here anywhere, like any park. You can go camping. And no one will stop you, especially in the wintertime. It's free camping, and even in the provincial parks or municipal parks. In the municipal parks, you're allowed to just camp from 7 a.m. or 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. in case you don't own any lodging or anything, right? Which is pretty cool. And then there's a lot of cool heads too that own land, family and heritage land, right? And they allow a lot of people to make little eco villages. But then the law comes along, the regional district comes along and complains and has them torn down. That's a problem. And they're beautiful too. They're better than the crap they're selling you for a 40-year mortgage, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I have seen many cob houses here. There's one cob house. The guy spent $150,000 on building it, and that's a big cob house because cob houses are cheap, right? And guess where he built it? Right in the rich neighborhood. You got all these geodesic housing, and then you see this beautiful Flintstone mushroom house. Like, this is cool. And he swears that that's going to be there for 1,000 years. You're not going to get that from geodesic.
You're not going to get that from stick built like I'm living in right now.
Exactly. So the new year is looking promising. I have got a bunch of things I want to do, and I've been decluttering my house. I've emptied the different locker rooms, and I've remodeled the entire place. I put all new floors through it and drywalled some and painted all of them and new underlay. I didn't want any of that sponge underlay. I wanted nice and clean. And I wanted to look at the subfloors too, in all the rooms on the top floor of the house. So I did that this year. And then I rebuilt all the foundations it's all new here now. Well, 80% new. I didn't have to do the balcony because it was only 15 years old anyway. So it upgraded my house here to a pretty good upgrade because it was a hodgepodge house, but not no more. Put in a bunch of new things like new gas furnace, new hot water tank, new plumbing all around, new bathtub, new toilets. So I had a pretty good.
What did you use for plumbing? Did you use copper or PEX?
PEX. I didn't know. Yeah, I actually just attached it to I didn't. The plumber did. And the reason why is it's a little better for earthquake. It can bend.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I'm in an earthquake zone. So, but I liked what Gil was saying about the ball valve. I'm really interested in putting a ball valve here because I have like thousands of homes that live above me. And after an earthquake, all that shit, it's got to go somewhere.
Yep. And
if I got a ball valve, and I can shut that off and won't all end up in my living room. Yeah. I got to be smarter than a ball valve here. And I know I am.
Smarter than a sewer pipe. Yeah.
Oh my God, it can happen. You try to think of every possible thing that can happen, and that's what you want to avoid. But I did a major upgrade this year. I did all the paneling along the roof veranda. This is a 3-story. I did all that, and I paid for it too. Boy, it was all of the cedar. Oh Jesus, that stuff is expensive, but it's the only thing that don't mold here.
Yeah.
And this entire house is made of cedar, eh? So I don't have any mold like just about every house here, even the new built one, it gets mold.
Yeah, they start building it and it's not totally closed in. It rains, gets humid, and then they close it in, and then it grows.
Yeah. They got this thing called the Green Dream Project thing or whatever downtown here, and they built like thousands of units, and they're all moldy. They're right full of black mold. And one lady I know, she's my doctor too. She phoned me up and she said, "What do I do? What do I do?" And I'm like, "Well, You get some kills, KILZ, and you tear out the mold and you spray that down and don't sleep there for a week, and you're okay. And then anything that's replaced has got to be cedar. Right. But that's brand new, 2 years old. That house, the condo, it's a row of condos, and it was an old industrial site, and I didn't like that anyway. Oak Knob Farm, hey, Happy New Year, almost, yep.
Almost.
But you got to watch if you're going to buy a house, you're not buying black mold, man, because you got a sick house then. And the only thing you can do with a sick house is drop a match on it. That's the cure, right? Yeah, cedar log cabins last a very long time.
Just got to take care of them.
Well, yeah. My cousin over on the island over here, he's got one of those finished tongue and groove ones.
Mm-hmm.
Where they put them together like they're like a puzzle. He comes home from vacation and all these pileated woodpeckers put all these freaking holes right through it.
Well, if they got holes in it, there's bugs in there because they hear the bugs and they're after the bugs.
Well, he phoned me up. He says, "What do I do? What do I do?" I said, "Well, you get a gun."
Yeah, that's about all you can do.
Well, yeah, they do a lot of damage.
Mm-hmm.
You can't put holes in your house, man.
I got woodpeckers on my property. I hear them, and they're big and they're evil looking. I've seen one standing on the ground. He had to be about I'd say 1.5 feet tall with meters. I don't know what that is, about almost a half a meter tall. So I guess about 50 centimeters tall. So they're big and they're evil looking, and there are some big holes in some of these trees. Well, and I hear them. It's like a jackhammer. It's like, holy crap.
Pileated woodpecker is a big bird, man. It looks like the roadrunner, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. But Pest Hunter Outdoors is in here, and he's saying Happy New Year to us also.
Hey, that's Happy New Year.
Cool. Yeah, and Oak Knob Farms here. And Dr. Paula came in earlier. But my house had mold when we bought. Had to get it remediated before moved in. The upstairs bath fan dumped shower steam into the attic. That'll do it. You know what I had to do here? The previous owner here, he had one of those microwaves that you had a fan in it too.
Yeah.
And I never used it in past 15, 20 years. I didn't even like it. I just
was it an indoor, like it blew it back into the kitchen, or did it blow it outside?
No, now that you see, they put a dummy when they sold it to the old owner. They put a dummy going outside.
Oh, geez.
Okay, so it didn't go anywhere. It was just blocked off. But then they had the recycle one too, right? It was the recycled bottom part. But when I took that out, that thing was just yuck.
Yeah. Last two houses I moved into, the first one we bought, our first house, had internal recirculating fan. I don't like that. You're just blowing grease everywhere. Just filtered grease and smoke. So I put the ductwork in, ran it to the outside. Sold that one, moved into this one I'm in now. Same thing. I'm like, nope. My wife's like, yeah, I know what the first thing on your list is to do. I'm like, yeah. And it was a new remodel. The guy bought it and flipped it and totally rebuilt everything, new kitchen cabinets and that. So there I am, cutting holes in my kitchen cabinets, running a vent out the soffit, out the side of the house, and putting a vent in. And because I do not like inside venting anything. I prefer the stove was against an outside wall, but it's not. It's close enough. It's about 6 feet away, so I just ran the ductwork.
Wow. Geeky Gardens is here, and pileated woodpeckers used to make their nest in creosote power poles.
Oh, yeah.
They replaced the poles with concrete ones.
Yeah, up in Maine, they were doing that. They were destroying the poles up there on the power lines, and they had to replace them with steel.
Yeah.
And woodpeckers are just literally after about a month, poles were just falling over.
Yeah.
And taking the power out. So they had to go back through and redo all the poles up there in steel.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to watch when you get work done. You really got to be like the governor of it and be there 24/7, no matter what time their workers are doing the work. You have to, yeah, it doesn't matter what you're doing. You gotta be there and watch them, because if you want something done right, just do it yourself.
Yep.
But the minute your back's turned, most workers will do a shortcut.
They'll do crappy stuff and then hide it, and
I
you'll
know.
never know until it fails.
I had a shale work done, and the guy had spilt cement onto some of the shale. And I said, "Well, why didn't you clean it off?" He goes, "Oh, I thought it looked good." I'm like, "Well, it doesn't. It looks awful. It takes away that feng shui of where you're stepping on the shale." And he spilled mortar on it, and he didn't even clean it off. All you had to do was wash it off, wipe it up, with a. Yeah, he left it. And another time, this worker was putting in vents. After I had the floor installed, the guy had to come and hook up the vent to it again, and because that was all being rebuilt. And the guy that cut off the old floorboard just dropped it into the vent and left it. All the bits, everything. He just brushed it all into the vent. You didn't know, and you paid him, and he's gone.
Yeah, and he put a vent cover over it, and you pop it out and look down inside, and it's all this junk. You wonder why there's dust blowing all over your house.
That's what happened.
Yep.
Yeah. I asked him about it, and he's like, "Oh, I don't remember."
Yeah, it's because he didn't do it. He had one of his 15-year-old, 16-year-old kids that he hired do it, and they don't care. I'm not getting paid to clean up.
Well, he was 40 years old that did that. He was in his 40s.
Shows work ethic.
Well, he cut a corner. He would have had to get the shop and back, pull out everything and vacuum everything, and he didn't do it. But he still got paid for it, because it's a contract. You're going to do this job for this much. Whether it takes him a week or a month, doesn't matter. He only gets that amount of money, right?
Yeah, he'll do it as fast as he can, as crappy as he can, and get the heck out before anybody realizes.
It looked good, but then when I had to go and clean each vent, I mean, it was a lot of work for me, and I'm not well. So I was just like, okay, so anything that I get done now, I'm right there. I bring my car to mechanic. I'm standing there watching that mechanic. I don't care if they say, "Oh, yeah, you can't do that." Well, then no, I can't bring my car here then. I'm not going to be bullied around because you say something. Like this freaking guy at the Canadian Tire. It's a big automotive center here. My good friend Mrs. V phones me, and she says, she goes, they're saying my starter's gone in my car. And I'm like,
does it start?
No, it didn't start. No, it didn't start. But I said, that's impossible, because 2 months ago, there was an old car crew over on the other side of town, a bunch of old guys. They just play around with cars. They put a starter in for her then. See? They'd already had a new starter in. So I knew the battery was weak, because that's what came with the car. So I knew it was weak, a hard time turning over that winter before. So I get in my buddy's pickup, and me and him go over there, and he grabs some tools, and he's a master mechanic. That guy, he knows every freaking thing. And he's like, okay, well, let's get the battery charged, put it in, and take it home, because he already knew about the old guys changing the starter, right? So when we went in there, I said, "Oh, have you put in the new starter in the car?" He goes, "No, but we're going to." I said, "Really? You think so?" And he's like, "Oh, yeah, we're putting a new starter in." I said, "I'll tell you what, we don't need a new starter. We need a new battery. Can you bring me out one?" Yeah, it didn't go too well. He looked like he was.
They put it. I was a Ford Master Tech, and that's why I don't do it anymore. I couldn't steal from people. I didn't like to do. I like to fix things. And it's like, you need a starter. Okay, and then you get the phone call. Yeah, your battery's shot too. After the starter's already in and it didn't start, and they put a jumper on to get it to start. It's like, oh yeah, you need a battery. No, I probably only needed a battery to begin with. But yeah, that's. Yeah.
I'm looking at getting an older car that I want to just do a little work on and drive on Sundays. So my father-in-law, from when I was married a long time ago, passed away, and he had a fleet of Cadillacs from from 1951 to 1962.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know. And he had a couple of older Cadillacs. He had a 1949 Cadillac too. It was a Hearst. And then he had some other Cadillacs too, but they weren't the best of shape. But he had several that are. And I have to go see my mother-in-law one day here. She lives on a big, huge piece of property surrounded by Cadillacs.
Cadillac Farm.
Yeah, she's pretty cool. She's my cousin too, so my fourth cousin. So yeah, I get along pretty good with her. She's pretty cool. I used to set up her dad's train sets in the Christmas time. Hey, that was a lot of fun. Yeah. But
working on Ford for a long time, you know which cars run well, which engines are the best. And a friend of mine who bought his 98 Ranger at the dealership I was working at while I was there, he sold me his Aerostar, which had a 3-liter in it. Yeah. Drove that thing for another 100,000 miles before I just didn't feel like fixing it anymore. It's falling apart on the outside. Yeah. And I told him, said, hey, when you're done with your Ranger, let me know. I'll buy it. Well, he gave me a call about 4 years ago and said, hey, or 5 years ago now. He's like, hey, when do you want the Ranger delivered? And they did daycare for my daughters, all of them. And, they were just really good friends. I was like, well, how much you want for it? He's like, you didn't hear me. When do you want it? Where do you want it delivered? I was like, I'll come up. And I came up, 98 Ranger had 178,000 miles on it. 3-liter V6, 2-wheel drive, stick shift, manual, everything. And I got 230,000 miles on it now. I still drive it. And it's easy to fix. And that particular motor was one of the better motors Ford ever made. And you just keep changing the oil. You can even abuse it and not change the oil. It'll still run, change the oil, come back to life again. And,
I like the Slant 6 is the Chrysler Slant 6.
No, the old Chrysler. Yeah, before was at I forget what that was, a 260 or 272 or something.
They were nice.
Oh yeah, they sound fun forever. They run.
Yeah. I like the Yaris too. The 2010, 11, and 12 Yaris, even up to 2019. Those engines, man, they'll run without oil in them for hours.
Yeah, I just don't like the newer vehicles with all the computers and stuff in it.
Just one wrong move. Autonomy vehicle coming real fast now. Within 3 years, you won't drive your car no more.
Well, it's like $80,000 for a Ford F-150 mid-grade model, and there's like 14 computers in there. Why do you need that many computers?
My little niece bought one. And I'm like, holy shit, man, that thing is a gas guzzling pig.
Yep.
Yeah. And I don't like it that it shuts off when you're at the red light.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Isn't that hard on the Bendix and the throwout bearing on the freaking?
Nah, they got special starters, and they have the exhaust valves open up. So it's not as hard to start. It's all electronic valving. And all it takes is one bad wire or a mouse to get in there, and all hell breaks loose. And nothing works right. And now you're into it for thousands of dollars at the dealership because they can't repair a wire. Got to replace the whole underhood harness for, $3,000. It's like, what? Can't you just splice the wire and fix it? Oh, no, it's network cables. You can't splice those. I'm like, why are there network cables in my car? Just give me 2 wires to run everything. I'm good. Power and ground. That's all I need.
There's 2 prices to everything. There's one price for stupid people, and then there's another price for smart people.
Mm-hmm.
And my very best friend, he's super smart. So he phones me up a couple days ago, and he says, I found the guy with the keys. And I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? You found the guy with the keys. He goes, well, you can pay $650 to get your key cut, one of those with the fob thing, or you can go to this guy for $85.
Yeah.
I said, well, that's a no-brainer. Hook me up, so I got an extra key.
Yep.
Right?
That's the thing. You got to get it programmed, and the key is a special cut. You need a special machine.
Well, yeah, you got to program it. And it saved me $500.
Yeah.
I'll make sure that guy gets a nice Christmas present.
I'm an olive tree.
Actually, I bought him a pound of coffee this year, and I bought him a pound of coffee and another smoked salmon gift. So he was very happy, very, very happy. Yeah, the price of everything here has gone up dramatically.
Yep, here too.
I mean, I used to get, like, if I went and spent $500 a month on groceries, I had a lot of groceries. I can go spend $500 a week.
Yeah, not have a lot of groceries.
So that's why I'm looking at getting a lamb again here in the spring lamb, maybe 2 of them, and just cutting them up myself because I like my mint and lamb. And then when the salmon are all here, I'd like to get a truckload of them.
Yep.
If I catch them, that's great too. But I mean,
that's a lot of work.
If you got the cash, you got the flash, right? And the First Nations here, they're allowed to sell their salmon, hey?
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So
there's no limit on they can do whatever they want.
Well, no. There's governance. No. That used to be the old way. Now they all work with the Department of Fisheries and Oceans, hey? And the biologist the fisheries biologist says, okay, now you guys can have your herring this year or your salmon this year. And most of the time they get it right, but sometimes they get it wrong. And the wrong is really bad because this year there were so many salmon that came up the river, they could have opened it up for a lot more openings.
Yeah.
The rivers were just overloaded.
Well, hopefully next year will be a bigger booming salmon run.
Well, what's happened? Well, let's hope. But what's happening is we get these super dry summers right away. Whereas before there was raining off and on, so it always had a bit of a trickle in the creeks and rivers.
Right.
So what happens is every year all these salmon come up. So every year they go back out as little smolts. So they got to live in the creek or the lake, like sockeye. They live in a lake for a year before they go out the river and down to the ocean. So that's what you're looking at. So what happens? So if you got a bad year, this year was no rain. Like a couple 3 years ago, we didn't have any rain. All the salmon died. They just got cooked in the river.
Ooh,
I know it stunk really bad, and so it all depends on the weather. But it does appear that there is a rebound in salmon stocks because there's been a lot of hatchery programs. See,
right. And they dump them upstream so they know where to come back to next year.
Yeah, they have a homing sensitivity, like they can smell where home is. Now,
I know the fresh water that they came out of. Yeah,
not all do that. Chum salmon don't. They'll go up a sewage tank. I've seen them swim across a road where the pipe had collapsed. You know, the underwater pipe collapsed on the main road. And here's these chums swimming across, and I'm like, huh? But there used to be a tunnel there that they could use, but it collapsed. So they went over the road. Very smart salmon. Yeah. But there's many kinds of salmon here. It's not just one kind of salmon. We have pink salmon, which people don't really eat, but they taste great smoked. But people don't eat them, so they don't keep them. But now that a few years ago, when the other good salmon like sockeye or coho were really dwindled, everybody went and got the pinks.
That's all that's there. Might as well take what I can get.
Yeah. So when I first came to British Columbia, I was just a little kid. You could go out with a pitchfork and just pitchfork of 50, 60 in an hour. There's that many.
Yep.
Hey,
well, I'm going to bail. It's been great to hang with you. I love hanging with you. And I will
Happy New Year, man.
I will see you in the new year because I know you're going to do a live feed. You always do a live feed on Saturday morning.
Sometimes.
That depends on what you got going on.
Mostly, though. But, hey, it was always a pleasure, and I look forward to all your endeavors on YouTube.
Oh,
May they flourish.
I'm not a robot.
Good fun, hey?
I know. I have fun with that too. So, all right, brother.
Yeah.
Happy
Good
New
night,
Year,
man.
everybody. Take care.
You too. Well, I'm all alone. Oh, hey, Simran's here. Simran. Hello, Howie. Hello, everyone. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Good morning from India. It's my breakfast time, so bye-bye and New Year blessings. Well, thank you. Thank you so much. I don't know how long I've been on here. Oh, a couple of hours. Well, it's not New Year's yet. So I'm going to hang out for a little bit. Yep. I might even get a bite to eat. I went out and had Chinese food earlier. That was good. They were really good. There was a bunch of women cooks, Chinese women cooks. Usually it's the man's in there, but they did really good. What time is it there, Howie? Hey, Free Spirit. It's 7:40 p.m. And I'm pretty sure that you're already into the new year. Happy New Year, Free Spirit. That's where I saw you at. We were over at the High Desert Pioneers. That's right. I forgot. Yeah, I like that guy. He's fun. But it's going to be a whole new year, a lot of goals, and a lot of fun. I just want to have fun. I don't want to have anything but fun. Did I mention I want some fun? So it should be an interesting year. I'm going digging turnips up tomorrow and radishes and greens. And I have a bit of a dinner planned for myself, just myself. Yes, it's 1:45 p.m. in 2025 already. Yay! Well done, Free Spirit. 1:45 p.m. Wow. You're there tomorrow. Hey, can you get me the lottery tickets? Yeah. Time travel. Peace journey. I'm still here listening while chopping olives. Ooh, cheese, onions. Oh my God, I'm creating. Oh, I should have a pizza too, eh? Yeah, it's New Year's. I'll be right back. I got to ask my house guest if they want to have a pizza. Hey, this is morphing. Sorry about that. I thought I better not. I better not make a pizza. But so what I'm going to do is I'm going to eat my kiwi instead. I got a bunch of kiwi. Yeah. Not right away. Oh, they look good, don't they? Very refreshing, hey? Amazing. Sometimes I eat the skin. If I'm outside picking them, I just eat them. Got a little dirt on them. Furry kiwi. Mm. 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 It's beautiful. Mm. There they are, free spirit. Beautiful. Mm. It's kind of like kiwi ice cream. I took these out of my crisper, so they're really cold. Oh, sure feel alive when you eat it. It's like, wow, real food, man. Nothing GMO'd there. Mm. 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 Truly heaven. Pizza. I know. I want to make a pizza. I have a clay pizza pan. I bought it from the Italian store quite some time ago. It's $35. It wasn't cheap. Yeah, it has a proteolytic enzyme. And it has a lot of vitamin A. A ton. Yep. You're a very smart person, free spirit. I rather like that in humans. But if people aren't smart, I like them too. But I like it when they're creative. And there it is. Green kiwi. Mm. Mm. Well, one more to go. Mm. How small the seeds are, eh? Little tiny seeds. Good night, Geeky Gardens. Happy New Year, Geeky. Wow. Here's my leftover for the Pathway Soil Bank, making soil. Nice and white, my teeth. That was good. Yep. Whoa. Got your way up there. Yeah. Peeling the kiwi. Oh, here's a monster. Wow. I got a lot of kiwi this year. Quite a bit. And I've made several new kiwi. I just like them. I could have even went and picked kiwi at another food forest, but I have so many. So I tried to encourage them to pick them, but they won't climb up on the ladder or do anything with them. I noticed a lot of birds were there. It's almost a crying shame to do all that work. And yep, nothing gets done with it. Yep. Hard to believe a new year's coming. Hard to believe. Yep. I think I will make the pizza. What the hell? It's New Year's. There it is. Peeled some kiwi. It's like $5 worth of kiwi. Be right back. So here's my pizza. Smells like smoked salmon. It came out of my freezer. But yeah, I'm just putting this one on as a rising crust pizza, and then I'll doctor it up. I'll put a bunch of cheese and different, oregano, fresh on it, that kind of thing, and Italian seasoning, some more organic tomatoes crushed, some garlic and onions. So I just doctor up this one on my pizza board. Yeah, that'll be fun. Ooh, trash the place. You okay? Oh, yeah. There you go. I got this here pizza salami to put on there. So I'll cut some of that. It's a continental European crafted. Should be interesting. Looks good. I'll drop the pizza. I've got these here bush olives. They got like rosemary and lemon in there. I call them bush olives. They're from Lebanon. And I like them. They're pretty good. So I'll put them on my pizza and pop it in the oven. I got some Parmesan. I'll be back. Well, hey, Pete's Journey, Shawnee Grows, Geeky Gardens is gone. Pizza finally went in the oven. Mine just did too. I put in one of those rising crust pizzas from a factory. I just doctored up. I put lion's mane mushrooms on it and Kalamata olives, and I cut up some old cheddar cheese and put it on there. Put on some Italian spices, a little bit of chili powder, a little bit of garlic powder. Black olives here, the green are too tart for my taste unless it's cremini. At least for cooking. So I got the pizza going on. Hi, Mama Bear Yoda. What you doing? You got little feet there? I went out and had Chinese food with my best friend earlier today. And that was pretty good. That was actually very good. And they were really, really nice people. They were so nice, I gave them a $5 tip, which I normally don't do. But because the food was so good and the service was so good and they looked after you, they're right there for everything you needed. So I threw them an extra $5. It wasn't cheap to eat there. It was $40 for two people to eat there. So you can smell that lion's mane on my hand. I put it all over the pizza. Nice. Mine took almost a half hour. I put mine on at 400 because it was a frozen pizza. So that's those Red Baron pizzas. They're a really nice pizza. And so I just doctor it up. I just put all of my own stuff. And then when it comes out, I'll cut up avocados and put on top of that. So you want the nutrition, right? You always want to keep that nutrition going. Today I had to tell my neurologist all the stuff that I eat. Holy camole, man. Like all the nutraceuticals, vitamins. I had to remember it all. I'm like, and I'm not well. So I'm like, okay, I do this, this, and this. And she's like, well, what's that? And I said, well, that's for your eye, strengthening your eye and more elastic, right? She looks it up, and sure enough. Yeah. Yep, some people drink alcohol on New Year's. We cheat our diets with pizza. Yeah, I'm not a fan of drinking alcohol. Makes you stupid. I finally found a lion's mane at the store. It's so delicious. Yeah. I don't know. I just thought if you're having a brew or something at the beach, great. But or you're having a glass of wine with your meal, great. But to sit there and get tanked and be stupid, no thanks. I always was sick after it the next day. I was sick. So I'm like, do I need this? I don't think so. I never did. Yeah. Lion's mane costs a lot of money here. A fortune. I didn't take too long to put the pizza on. I started eating those kiwi. Those are delicious. When I run out of those, it's going to be a sad day until they come back again, December 1st next year. That's when they'll be back again. I think I'm going to collect up a lot more. I'm going to want both crispers full because mine lasted till, well, I'll probably have them till about the end of January, which is pretty good. But if I could have them till the end of March or April, would be even better. Right now, I'm eating a lot of sunchokes and potatoes and greens. Tomorrow, I want to go live on the food forest floor and show how I pull turnips and get my greens ready. And I've got some chicken cordon bleu that I put together, and they're ready to go with free range chicken breast. So made a sausage slice mushrooms, red onion, orange bell, black olive, and jalapeno pizza. That's what I forgot to put on the jalapenos. I'll be back. I don't have a name for these, but I'll tell you, you chop that up and put it on your pizza. You're going to need a lot of cold beer or water or milk or something. I don't know what you call these. My friend grew them in his greenhouse. But I'll tell you, oh, you can smell the heat on them, hey? Oh, I think I better save the seed for this. Does it ever smell like peppers, hey? Oh, yeah, this is hot, free spirit. You know what the great thing about this one that he grows? It never goes bad. It just dries up. That's it. It just dries up. And it stays like that, nice and shiny and red. It's really freaking weird. No, I put a jalapeno on. But I was going to put this puppy on, but no, I don't think so. I think I'll save this one for putting on to a meatballs or something, or maybe chopped up it on cod or something. Oh, it smells beautiful. Weird how it's all curved like that, eh? Yeah, it's hot. It's like 5 times hotter than a jalapeno. That's how hot it is. There's another one too. These little yellow peppers that he has. These little whitish, yellowish tinge, lime green. Some of them, you just touch them and your hand burns. I said to him, I said, "What do you do with this?" He goes, "Hot sauce. This is what I do with my famous hot sauce." And he sells lots of that too. I was like, okay. Not for me, but a lot of people buy his hot sauce for get rid of parasites. Parasite larva has got to eat just like anything else, or can't live in a solution of pepsin like that. Anyway, I'm gonna go put this back. It's giving me I'm terrified. Those black olives are delicious. Mm, mm, mm. Wow. Mm. God, I love good food. There's a native pepper there called the chili penguin. It's too hot to eat alone, but great for cooking. I bet, eh? If you take a hot pepper, put it with your tomatoes, tomatoes won't rot as quick, last way longer, because the pepsin gives off the pepsin gas, like mold don't grow. So I always add hot peppers to my tomato patch. This year I didn't do so good. I threw it down on building a food garden out of a lawn. And then where I built it, the homeowner painted her house. All parts of it, all the gables and stuff. I'm like, and you can see the paint going over right onto it. And it didn't matter. I protested, but that looked like a hot Serrano, maybe. Maybe. It's hot. You could smell it. And just because I like touched myself here, it's hot. My hand's hot. I'll eat it. I'm going to put it in something. I'll put it inside of spaghetti and meatballs or something like that, or chili. But I've given up on chili. I've been learning about lectins and beans and stuff and legumes. It's an undigestible protein. It's not too much fun. Might be some problems with my gut because I like beans. And I like fava beans is my favorite. Oh, I love fava beans. I have them growing all over. I should pick some tomorrow. It's delicious. They're so alkalizing. Yep. Wow. It's already New Year's. Where's Free Spirit is. Yep. It's 8:15 here, so still have 4 hours, 3 hours and 45 minutes. The first 15 minutes of my pizza. It's going to be a funky pizza because I like sour cream on my pizza, but I have to cut back on cream and cheese and stuff. Yeah. So I'm going to have to just go with the avocado on there. Avocado on pizza is delicious, and some olives and 3 or 4 kinds of cheese, but I didn't put on as much cheese because I have to cut it out. It cuts down on my circulation too. I've been told cheese will cut down your circulation and you'll feel colder. I don't need that. It's wintertime. Yeah. Yeah. Waiting on the pizza. Better go check on it. Hey, how's your pizza there, Peace Journey? Get out. And mine's in the oven. I'm smoking salmon, Lewis says. Peace Journey made a pizza too. I put lion's mane on my pizza. I put lion's mane and olives from Lebanon, black olives. And the Middle East makes the best olives. In the Middle East, they have the best. I've had lots of them from Greece, Spain, Turkey. I've had them from Israel. I've had them from Palestine. I've had them from Jordan. I love olives. No, they're good for you. They're powerful alkalizers. Oh, and they're full of omega-3 and lots of fiber. I just got done eating pizza. Ooh, what kind of pizza was it? Was it like, I'm putting avocado at the end on mine. I chop up avocado, put it all over the pizza. Pizza done, back in the bus, piled in bed with smoked salmon incoming. Okay. Yay. Where do you live? Pizza done, back in bus, piled in bed with smoked salmon incoming. So, I like smoked salmon, but I only do that once a day. That's in the morning, stabilizes my glaucoma. I was telling the neurologist that today. She's like, me too, she says. All animals fed and set up for fireworks, cozy New Year's. Peace Journey says, hi, Shawnee. Everybody's got pizza going on here. That's pretty cool. Pizza train. I've been eating rich food the past 7 days. I've been eating lion's mane, prime rib steaks, and prawns every day, and salads. I even invented a new wrap. It was lion's mane and chopped prime rib with cream cheese, chive, and garlic, and cracked pepper in it, and put onto my flat wrap. And I had a spinach wrap. So I did flechette cutting. Instead of cutting straight up and down, I cut the beef steak on a side like this, so that you're cutting the grain, so it'll be that much more tender because you're cutting a certain grain of them, or you're cutting it. It's not as tough. It's a French flechette cut. And anyway, that's what I did. And I put it in a green spinach wrap with the lion's meat. I couldn't believe it. I thought I did put some garlic, and I crushed my pepper now. I don't use the pepper grinder because they're made of plastic and stuff. So I've been crushing it in my pestle and mortar. I just keep adding it like a batch of the peppercorns and just crushing it. Works good for me. And then I've been changing my habits too. I now have 3 glasswares for cooking in the oven. And then I have, my stainless steel set, but I don't own anything with PFOS on it, or, can't have that. You got to try to help yourself. It takes years to heal yourself up. It ain't easy. And I was talking to the neurologist today about that, and she agreed, yeah, it takes a long time. I'm like, yeah. So I get to go and do a few more things in the medical fields there. But I had my medical representative with me today. That was interesting. All the people that worked there were a little bit, I don't know, nervous kind of, because they didn't expect someone to bring their medical representative and then have my medical consultant on the phone right there. And then there's me. And then I had a walk-in doctor too that I could call in case I needed to know anything, but I left her as a reference anyway. But they did their best. I was in the hospital overnight a couple times. That was rough. Yeah. So I get my eye looked at on the 17th, and they're going to go in and look and see what they could fix. So that'll be good. Always something goes wrong with something. As soon as you hit that magic age of a half century old, things are not going to be the way they should be. They wear and tear. That's the way it is. Yeah. 2025. A lot of predictions have not been too good for about 2025. A lot of fear porn. I figure it's going to be just like any other year, and I've heard of all that fear stuff before. I just got done eating pizza. What kind of pizza? Yeah, I thought you were at work, slaving away. Saturday mornings, I usually go live, and I'm going to go live this Saturday. I'm not going to go live tomorrow. There's quite a few people going live tomorrow, hey? A lot. I know a lot of people are, and it's in the evening, too. Made a journey to New Braunfels. Been going to a butcher shop there for 20 years. Bought 5 pounds of dry sausage. Nice. For pantry, 2.5-inch thick ribeye. Nice. Fresh Gulf jumbo shrimp and crab legs for barbecue. Where did you say you lived again? Just kidding. I better go check my pizza. Yep. Ooh. Lion's mane mushrooms. Mmm. What are you doing? This is my pizza. And I'm back. Peace, peace. Oops. Oh, gosh, I hope so. Oops. Here's my pizza. Avocado, lion's mane. It's pretty high-end pizza. This will be good, too. Cut myself shaving. Found a baker that bakes me frozen pizza crust. Even the frozen pizza ready-made are way too expensive now. I paid $3 for this pizza. That's what I paid for it. $3. No ribeye on it. No. Wow. Sure can taste that lion's mane. Wow. I'm trying to get a double chin. That was good, man. I can't believe it. I have lion's mane, olives, a couple different kinds of cheese, avocado. Wow. It is. It's got a lot of flavor. Oops, no ribeye on it. No, I gotta lay off the ribeye for a while. Went a little crazy on it. This is true. The pizza itself cost me $3. It's a pretty big pizza. The avocado cost me $1 each. So $3 plus $1, that's $4. I grew the lion's mane myself. I didn't buy the spores, someone gave them to me. The olives were probably about 10 cents, maybe 15 cents worth of olives on it. Maybe 2 bits, 25 cents. The herbs are all my own herbs. So roughly about $4.25 for an exotic pizza. That's pretty exotic. Oh, Oops says, I do a true gangster pizza. A Harvey Dawn cracker, thin crust, very little sauce, Italian sausage, mushrooms, black olives, onion, and triple cheese. Do it any other way, and Harvey Dawn will have to kill you. Uh-oh. Pizza. Mm. That's good. Mm. 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 Wow. They have this really great bakery here called Cobb's. They're all around the world too now. But they make the best of everything. And it was started by prisoners in Australia. And now there's Cobb's all over. Yeah. I can't believe the lion's mane went so well with it. It's like, wow. But I buy the pizza crust that's partially cooked from them, and I just make my own pizza with that. And I get two pizzas the size I just had there with nothing on it for like $6. Happy New Year, all. I've got to run to a friend. Stay alive. Yeah. Thanks for being here. Oops. Happy New Year. Cheers. Oh. I had a pretty busy morning. As soon as I woke up at like 5 a.m., I cleaned my toilet and my bathroom floors and walls. I hadn't done it for a couple of months. It was bad. Well, not too bad, but see you. Oops. Hey, Brad, how's it going? Happy New Year, man. How you been? Hope Jen's doing good. I hope Christmas was good for you. Thank you kindly, Brad. You as well. I'm going to go get another piece of pizza. Is that enough pizza for you? Yes, honey. You had a great Christmas? That's pretty good. Can't go wrong with that. Mm. Who would have thought lion's mane on the pizza would be so good? Mm. Mm. Mr. Burns, My little doggies here. Crumpets. I like crumpets. Oh. It's absolutely delicious. I'm pretty full though. It's good that you're satiated. You don't eat a lot. I bet it is. When I was at the hospital today to see the neurologist, on my way out, there was two gentlemen sitting on a bench outside. One guy had his leg amputated, freshly too, and then the other guy was there to see him. So I went up and said hello, and how you doing? And what they did, they offered me the food they were eating. Would you like some of this? I've never met them before in my life, but it's like that here in Canada. No, I've seen that often here in Canada. It's like a biscuit, but it's like a calamata sort of inside. See you, Brad. Have a good one. Tell Jen I send my best. Happy New Year. Crumpet's what's used for when you have like eggs Benedict. You toast a crumpet, and then you put some of the hollandaise sauce made from egg yolk and lemon juice and butter. You smear that onto the crumpet after you toast it, and then drop the mostly cooked poached egg, but not fully cooked. That's put a piece of smoked salmon lox on that as well. I'll tell you, it's pretty good. I go camping with that kind of food. Huh. See you, Brad. Drop by more often, buddy. That's it. A bit of a rash right there from I shaved earlier. Well, I still have a few hours before it's midnight. I don't know if I'm going to stay up that long. Pizza made me kind of groggy. Maybe I'll have a lemon water. That always does the trick. Boost you up. Wee. Yep. I'll be back. Go anywhere. Oh, sorry about all that. I think a few people were eating pizza in here. I know Shawnee was in Peace Journey, but I think there was someone else. Oh no, Truth Freeze was eating crumpets. It's cool to see what everybody's eating, you know. Yeah. 3 hours I've been on it here. No wonder I'm kind of feeling. I tried to eat good food. I ate some kiwi that I grew. I ate lion's mane that I grew. I never had lion's mane on pizza. The best thing I ever ate. It was delicious. I couldn't believe it. I chopped it up small and put it on last so it would bake a little bit. Backyard gardener, hello. Oh my gosh, I haven't seen you for a long time. Happy New Year. My very best to you. Oh, Happy New Year. Good to see you. Yeah, there's been a lot of people drop in the past few hours. People I haven't seen for a while. But yeah, Backyard Gardener. Pretty cool channel. Oh, thank you. You're very kind. That's kind words. But happy New Year and my very best to all your endeavors. I know you're a very busy person all the time. But I haven't got a notification from your channel for a really long time. I think I've got that all straightened out. There's only a certain amount of channels that they'll go through and you get notifications from, because there's thousands of channels that subscribe to me and I subscribe to them, but you never my little dog wants out, but you never hear anything. It took years there for Wild Edibles to get my channel, and I've had family members trying to find my channel and it didn't pan out. they had to give up. And then some people that persisted, what they do is they do the hashtag thing, or But I noticed that some of my hashtags there, other people have put like oil companies on my soil building. I'm like, why? Like they put like a big oil company on the same, like when you go and look up that hashtag of mine, because they attached that to like some oil outfit or some Go Oil or something like that. I forget. You're staying up late? Yeah, I had a nap earlier. I took a nap and then I was in an MRI machine. That scared the crap out of me. Oh, my dog wants out. Oh no. Good to see you back there, Shawnee. You gotta go outside? Come on. Come on. Let's go. Come on, outside. Go on out. Go pee. Go on. Go on, get. You go use the bathroom. Go on. I have a book. It's not new to me. I don't get notifications, but it's I knew these people here that wrote this book, and Pearson. I knew her husband Don. They're both gone now, but she was a local writer, and I'd help her out, and I'd go to the same church and whatever. Anyway, she gave me her book, and it's about where I live, right where I live, what was here. So it's pretty cool. It's a well-made book. It's a famous book. Josh, Gardner Josh. Welcome, Mr. Gardner Josh. I'm on StreamYards, so I can't give anybody a wrench. But Happy New Year. So grateful to be safe at home tonight. Yeah, I know. I couldn't. On my way back from the Chinese food, I went. You see all these roadblocks, and they know our car, so we were just waved right through. We weren't even asked for ID or anything. Well, I wouldn't give them any ID anyway because I'm not doing anything wrong. I'd tell them that too. You just, they pull you over to see if you're drinking and driving. Well, there's no probable cause. So, well, but they did have a lot of people pulled over, and some people in paddy wagon. They towed a car. They take your car. If they catch you drinking here, they just take your car. You don't have a car anymore. You can't break the law and drink if you don't have a car. All right. Yeah. And then if you want it back, it takes like 6 months to get it back. And you have to pay thousands of dollars for the impound fees and whatever, the tow bill. That's not even counting what you got to go to court for. It's like, geez, they really hammer you. But it's for good reason. Shouldn't drink and drive. I never did. I've never even had a speeding ticket. I never had an infraction. Or did I? I think some guy hit me one time, and he said that I hit him, but I said no, I was staying in my own lane. We never have sirens here. Been 2 go by tonight. Oh, be safe. Be safe. Well, you know the sirens for a reason. We had a fire department here a few nights back. A guy fell down the side of the cliff there. How do you fall down a cliff? Like, why would you even be over on a cliff at night? It doesn't make people, some people just don't have too much common sense, man. I don't get it. Like, hanging around a cliff, nighttime, raining. It seems odd. You know, I wouldn't do that. What the hell? Yeah. Well, tomorrow I plan on cutting greens and pulling turnips and making a video or live stream right from the food florist floor. Just gather up a bunch of veggies. I might go pick some leeks out of friends. Depends. She's an absolute crazy when she's not on her meds. So I don't know. I have to be careful going there. I always take someone else with me. Nice lady and all, but Yishka. Hello. Enjoy being's back. I went out and chipped away at some of the tall grass. It's a never-ending task, it seems. That's why you have to have goats, man. A little flock of goats that chew everything. They'll eat everything. Same in Texas. Very bad fines and record for drunk drivers. Well, good. I know a lot of people have been killed by a drunk driver. A lot. Sad. And I know family members that drove drunk and killed people. What do you say to them? You know, they're all broke up and they realize they quit drinking. They still killed somebody. It's a harsh bid, man. But yeah, welcome back there. Enjoy being. It's always a pleasure. I hadn't seen you for a while. I was wondering what you're up to. You know. Wow. So tomorrow is Wednesday, January 1st, 2025. You know what? I never thought I'd ever live this long, hey? It's kind of cool that I did. Yeah, I didn't think I would. You know? I learned a bit about how safe it is out there these days. In September, I was away in the city working. Oh, cool. Peace Journey says, today is the first day of a week off for me going to clear the front of the bus to have the kitchen installed finally. Ooh, moving on up to the top, to a deluxe schoolie in the sky. Awesome. I love school buses. Enjoy being away working for 4 months, hence why my garden is on top of me. I was wondering about that. Yeah, in September, I foolishly went walking in a park at night and was attacked and beaten up by 7 youths. Wow, that's harsh. That's really harsh, man. Huh. Hope you're all right. Wonder if them youths are still at the park beating people up. most likely. I mean, I don't want to do any hyperbole or anything, but I want to say probably. But I mean, if the pattern's there, I mean, Jesus. So what, were you in the hospital or? I'm lucky to be alive, really. Just glad they were youths and not very good at their trade. Yeah, that's sad. You're a really nice guy. Jiminy, that's scary. Yep. They're like bugs, some people. There's no love in their heart. Went to the hospital for scans and was off work for 3 weeks. Jesus. Did the police catch them or did you go and tell the police? Some people go and tell the local, vigilante or mobster. I mean, some people are so dumb when they go attack people. You don't know who they're attacking. Rather be in the woods with bears than the cities. These say, the city can be really rough, man. Fast-moving Chevy can make a mess of you, or a fast-moving drug addict can, and some of them just go berserk. And I don't mind the homeless people too much. They're pretty cool, but it's the addicts that. Whew. All I could do is just try and defend myself. I am a boxer, but there was no way I could take on 7. That's when you gotta try to run up a tree or something, man, or carry some bear spray or something. I don't care for weapons much, but if there's 7 of them, you have to take advantage of whatever you have. It's unfortunate. It's terrible to have to take a life, but sometimes people have to do things they don't want to do. And then others that see you take that life, they really think about preserving their own, eh? I mean, I'm not saying to do that. I'm just saying that's the law of the jungle. People don't realize anything until someone's there all broken up and dead. Then they realize, oh man, that could be me next. Not everybody nice. There's people here in Canada, 35,000 people a year go missing in Canada, hey? That's a lot of people, man. That's not chump change. That's 35,000 people go missing. That's a lot. Yeah. Rather be in the woods with bears. Me too. At least I know what the bear's going to do. Enjoy being all I could do was just try and defend myself. Yep. Peace journey. Yes, addicts terrify me. No soul. Yeah, there's living spirit flu. You're right. And it's disturbing. In the end, I didn't file a report. I was too caught up about it and injured and couldn't see any way they would catch them. I was screaming for help and no one was around. Teach me for not being scared. Well, it's a matter of time. Them kids going to run into the wrong person. Someone's just going to pull out a cap, pew, pew. See that lots in the city here. Tonight, there was a gun battle out on the outskirts of the city. Tonight. Yeah, they were asking for anybody that knew what had happened to the guy who shot multiple times and he was in his car. Nobody knew anything. Well, and if they did, they're not getting involved. You could be next. The world's getting pretty crazy. It takes no talent to hurt and kill Earthlings. It takes real talent to heal them up and bring them back to life. And that's what caregivers and doctors do, and nurses and healers. It's not an easy task. It's a very difficult task. Extremely difficult. Got pizza in my teeth. Yeah, I would file a report. Absolutely. I'd take pictures of them too, and I'd follow them home to their parents and show them. But they did. I mean, it's easy to say you can do this or that. You're a boxer, you're this or you're that. You got to be smarter than them. And that's not that difficult to be smarter than the dumb malcontent, malevolent earthling. I mean, you got to love them, but you don't have to like what they do. And I definitely would track them down. Somebody knows who they are. And a couple $20 bills, you get all kinds of people tattletaling on them, where they live, where their mom lives, and go see them. Bring the community policing officer with you, right? But obviously they're going to kill somebody one day. So I would report them. Definitely report them. That's what the police are for. You pay your taxes, right? Shawnee, yeah, right. We try. Yeah, I lost my glasses right at the start, so I couldn't see very well. Oh, man, that's crappy, dude. You're such a nice gentleman, too, hey? Dang, man, I'm sorry that happened to you, buddy. Much better blessings coming to you in the future. You know, you've got good karma. Lost your glasses. Oh my God. That's you're blind. You're fighting blind. Thank God I didn't have to do much fighting when I was younger. I mean, I'm heavily trained, but I never had to use anything. Not really. Some kid tried to rob the store I was in once. And so I seen the security guard. She was this young lady, and he was trashing her. So I told the kid, I said, you got to stop doing that. I said, you're under arrest because you're not a policeman. I said, no, I'm a citizen. And this is a citizen arrest. So he took a swing at me. He'd come in with his right. He had something in his hand, so I wouldn't let it go by. And I reached over and I put my hand under his elbow and I cranked it over and I kind of rammed him a little bit into the pavement and the cement. And he got a little bit of a crack and his tooth cracked. And the lady, she couldn't get up. He hit her pretty good a few times. So, yeah, that was my adventure. Chef Tech 86. Happy 2020. Oh, yeah, you're on the East Coast. Oh, yeah. Hey, Happy New Year on the East Coast. Yay. Happy New Year, Mark. Thanks for being on the live panel earlier. That was really a lot of fun. Yeah. My buddy there, Joy Being, he got into it with some youths, and there was too many of them. So he was just reciting the story. Yeah. Happy 2025. Wow, I made it. I didn't think I was going to live this long, man. That's great. I get to see it again another year. Wow. This is exciting. But yeah, Mark, wow. Happy 2025, buddy. You take care. Maybe not scared is the wrong word. Naive and trusting. Sorry to bring the conversation. No, don't be sorry. And this is what it's all about. Your pals, man. This is our village on YouTube. We always try to help each other any way we can. We can't help everyone, but we can help some. Give you words of encouragement or give you some good advice that you didn't ask for. But you going out at a park at night, you should try to travel in like groups or something, like at least 2 people. And if not, make yourself look like put on a reflector vest and some hip gear. Make yourself look like a policeman. Not that you're a policeman, but youths run when they see that, right? Wear the yellow vest. Oh yeah, always leave. Never stay. If there's conflict, avoid some more. You're there to survive and thrive, not get beat up and have to look for your glasses and try to go to work all beat up and busted up. Screw that. And people, I've heard people call other people, "Oh, you're a coward if you run away." No, I'm smart. I retreated. What's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with being smarter and avoid a conflict with someone that they have the mentality of a bug. You can't negotiate. So it's there's no nego. So there's no negotiation. So bad things happen. But yeah, you always leave. You always leave. Anytime there's a gun battle, get the hell away from there. Let the crazies go at it. There'll be plenty of tools for you to pick up later. You dig holes and bury the dead. I will never get involved in any conflict. And some people on YouTube I've said that to, they're like, "How could you say that?" And I'm like, "I just did. I'm not here to kill anybody. Although I know a lot of ways of doing it, I won't do it. I can't do it. I'm a pacifist. But if you're going to come over and try to hurt me, well, that's a different story. You get to see my Irish side, eh? Yeah. Bad news for you." Yeah. Don't let it change you. Naive and trusting is good with precautions. Yeah, don't give up your goodness and your kindness for nothing or nobody. I got to go close my door. Thanks, Peace Journey. It has changed me a bit. I'm much more jumpy around young people and walking in public. Well, lesson learned. Not everybody nice. You're lucky they were just young kids, not older crazy kids. You know? So I've seen good people do bad things, and I've seen bad people do good things. It's very strange, but I definitely wouldn't let it go. I'd have some correction done. I definitely would file a report. And you missed all that work too. You might be able to get workers' comp or something, And I definitely would keep an eye out for where them kids lived and visit their parents. I would. I'd visit them with the police too. Take the police right there. Yeah, these are the ones that did it. Because if you don't stand up and do something, they're going to continue to do that until they kill someone. Maybe they've already killed somebody. That's a good possibility. If they're doing that kind of damage to you, I mean, they're not professional fighters. Peace Journey says, I am jumping around young people, crowds, and strangers. I'm going to be grumpy old hermit nomad. Well, what are you going to do, right? It's kind of PTSD-ish, right? Live life to the fullest and always be kind and always give goodness. There's only two things you can do for free, right? Kindness and goodness. I will never change. I'll always be good. I mean, that's all I got. I don't have anything else. All I have is kindness and goodness. I mean, I'm not a saint. I most likely violated a few statutes of man, but I was young and dumb, so that's how I chalk it up. You don't grow up till you're like 40 now or something, unless you got like an old soul or something. But on a more serious note, I never made it till midnight. So I'm going to bid you all farewell, and I hope you feel better. Enjoy being, if they were men, well, if they were older, they probably wouldn't be doing what they did in the way they did. But if they were men, I would have probably have, yeah, true. Yeah, when they're young children like that, it's tough to, but the young children can take your life too. But my dad used to tell me, one thing, he says, if you don't know anything about it, you got nothing to worry about. But if you know something about it, you got lots to worry about. So you knew not to go out at night, right? So, yeah. So do that. Yeah. Yeah. Always choose kindness. Yes. Rest well. Yeah. Thank you kindly, Shawnee. Yeah. Peace and love. That rules. Love brings peace, and peace brings love. And to disarm somebody, the best thing you can say is, how may I help you? Is there someone I could call? That disarms them right there. I arrested this policeman one time. He was beating this kid up. I said, you're hostile and unstable. You need to stay here. You're under arrest. The other cops came and arrested him and took him away. And he was smashing this kid on this bus. I never had to do anything. This is words. Words are powerful. You're hostile and you're unstable. Those are very powerful words. And then the kindness comes. Is there someone that I can call to help you? How may I help you today? You seem distressed. It's very sad. And these are unarming. They unarm a person. Now, that being said and done, there's that 1% that go and pull out this. So, but it's just some words to live by. Free Spirit, you're a beautiful soul. Happy New Year, beautiful people. Peace journey, Shawnee grows. Joy being. Blessings to you all. I shall see you tomorrow at Shawnee Grows. And Shawnee Grows can put up her link. And it's at 7:30 Central Mountain Time, which would be, no, it's 9:30, I think, Central Mountain Time. Oh, yeah, I can. Yeah, and the times. Hey, Serena Norell, welcome. Yeah, put it up. There's a few people in here. The more people that share that out. I love you unconditionally, Howie. Get rest and be well. Namaste. You as well. But Shawnee's going to put up her link there so people can go and put in a notification. And Serena Norell's here. Welcome. There we go. There you go. I got a North Spore Lion's Mane mushroom kit for Christmas. Yay! Thanks, Howie, and thanks, Chad. I uploaded for the first time in a long time and a line since for the year. Cool. Happy New Year, everybody. There you go. Oops, it's over there. What time is it going to be at your time, Shawnee? What time? I think you said 9:30 or was it 7:30? Everybody go over to hit that link. Go over there and say hi. 9:30 p.m. Central. So that's 2 hours ahead of me. So it'll be 7:30 my time. And that would be 10:30 in the East, I think. So yeah, send out a notification. I think I hit the thing already. I also got 2 of Tony O'Neill's books. Oh, nice. Yeah, I know that Tony O'Neill. He's a very good guy, very good grower. 41 more minutes here in Texas. Well, enjoy your New Year. I'm going to go to sleep. I've had a long day, and I'll wake up in the year 2025. Much love, mad respect. Get up and grow and smile. You got another day. And if you're not smiling, you should. It's you're in Oklahoma. I turned 51 December. Wow. I'm older than you. Happy birthday, Serena. Peace and love, folks. Leaving studio. End stream now. End stream now.